Hello everyone, welcome to your Tuesday edition of this Daily Blast Live. I'm Tori Schulman, looking kind of 1940s, like a midnight affair kind of thing. Like I have an opera to go to, but it's 1941. That's where I'm going for that. That's what I'm doing for that one. We have a really good show. We have some giveaways. We got some morning saves that have huge, huge savings. So hi Instagram. What's up, y'all guys? One more time. What's up, Instagram? Okay, what's up, guys? So, if you guys don't know, are our fifth host, meaning you guys help me with the discussions, and then they bring it into the show. So, I wanted to give you two topics. One is, on Saturday morning, Forbes pushed an opinion piece with the headline that said Amazon should replace local libraries to save taxpayers money. So obviously it had some backlash, especially from the library committee, and the article argued that local libraries are no longer useful. Does that look weird? Too many chairs. No, it's fine. I feel like everyone left. Okay, good. The article, taxpayers would save money, and Amazon could open bookstores to provide communities with physical books. Now, Forbes received so much backlash that they actually pulled the opinion, which is sort of a rare thing for Forbes to do, from their website, but the author stood by his stance on Twitter. So, should Amazon replace local libraries, and if no one is using them, should the tax money be spent in a better way? So I hope to hear from people that have are library people. I just went to my local library, got myself a little Denver library card. I love libraries. I spent a lot of time there. Again, I was a working stand-up comic, so there was a lot of free time to be had in libraries. But I'm a big reader and a big audiobook person. So I love a library, and in West Hollywood, in California, Los Angeles, they had like a $12 million one built, and there was like a gay and lesbian section, and like I read with my dogs to children who have challenging times with reading. So there was all these sections, and you could look up things, and they were brilliant DVDs, games. So it was a really nice place to hang out. So I'd love to find out what you guys think about all of that with the does Forbes have a point? You know, at first you're like, libraries, no, and you're like, wait, hold on, the world is evolving. Should Amazon take over and make that basically open bookstores to provide those communities with books, but libraries you don't need to do for taxpayer money? So I'm going to find some strong opinions, I think, on both sides here. I'm pro-library. I think it's just a community center. I think the library is like a huge staple in our community, and it's an important thing in the neighborhood. Jeff's already making fun of me for being a nerd. Okay. Yeah, the look. All right. So the other thing is kids are getting smartphones as early as 6 years old, guys. So according to a new study, a quarter of children 6 and under own a mobile device. When did you get your first mobile device? Leo's like 25? When you were 10. Yeah. So they say 11 is like the best time to probably give them. They found a third of the parents just gave it to them because they asked, while 1 in 5 bought it to keep them entertained, which I think is a lot of time. Nonetheless, they show that 25% of parents purchase the device for children 6 and under. So 6, you're in like what, first grade? Second grade? I'm not. Yeah, I think you're first grade?
No, I think you're in kindergarten.
Kindergarten? Nonetheless, and it's crazy. So how young? And nearly half of those kids spent at least 21 hours per week on their device. So how young is too young for smartphones? Do you have kids, and what age did they get their smartphones? Luckily, I remember seeing Josh Hirsch in high school being like, what is that thing that lights up? Because I was like, what's this? I mean, we had car phones, like, starting in middle school, of like those with the corkscrew, you know? Like the 80s, 90s movies. But cell phones I did not grow up with. We had pagers. Talk about old. I would text 143, I love you, to my first boyfriend. What an idiotic transfer. Oh, God, pagers. My good God.
Have, like, text? Or was it just a...
No, you could just see numbers, and then the numbers meant something. So it was sort of, what's weird is you would page someone, and they'd have to find a phone to call you back. Very confusing, pagers. Good for doctors and, drug dealers, but not great for communication. So what age would you give your kid or grandson or whatever, or what did you get? What age did you get a cell phone? A lot of people are writing in, Sue Bruce, libraries are available for everyone, and Amazon should not be involved. Sue, a woman after my own heart. I love her. Ellis Walker, I love the library as well. Don't diss on the library. Ellis, you're with me. But let's be honest about... there are some libraries that are not as well kept, and could the money be spent as taxpayers somewhere else. I think, and this is, you guys know my stance on medical marijuana, it brings in a surplus of money, and I think a lot of that could be spent on upkeeping your libraries, which we do in Denver. In California, they're starting to do that. Massachusetts is beginning to have that, so it's interesting. Sherry Powers writes me, huge fan of libraries. I didn't have access to internet for a while. This is a great point. And I rented all kinds of movies, DVDs, TV shows, access to computers and internet for those who don't have it. It's a great place. I worked with Josie and we read to challenge readers. Guys, it's such a nice like neighborhood community center. Where else, and I know this isn't embarrassing, but when the founding fathers got here, there were little towns, with little general stores, like pickle barrels. I know I'm painting a weird picture, but there were centers of those stores and that community cared for each other in that way. The library is sort of, other than the church or the temple or whatever, the mosque, it's a center for the community. So that's why I wouldn't want to get rid of it. I think there's a lot of activities that can happen. What's up, April? She says, hi, Tori. What's going on, guys? I love getting shout outs. Finding out what you guys think about when was the first time you got a cell phone, or when is the youngest you would give cell phones? Christopher Brown writes me, guys, this is new, from a library currently. He's watching DBL from a library. Round of applause for Christopher Brown. He says, I'm in a library right now, it's just me and Leo. People still use them, but in more ways than just books, and I love my library. I do too. I love hearing that. Jeffrey Schreiner, I love the library, and I don't think that Amazon needs my taxpayer money. Bah, which I agree. To suggest from Forbes that Amazon come in, which is already with an antitrust law taking over the world, or at least America, to have more Amazon seems a little ridiculous in my opinion, but that's me. Gary Hill, my mother was a huge library fan, and since she's passed, I will continue to support her and my library for as long as I can. And I bet that smell makes you think of your mom. That booky smell. Libraries are available for everyone. Liz Samo, that is the dumbest idea I have ever heard. Libraries in Austin, Texas and in Central Texas provide more than just books. They provide family activities all year long, summer hangouts that are safe and good, and small business events, the list goes on. I certainly took my dog to the READ program, which is Reading Educational Assistant Dogs, and it was every Friday I had the same 4 kids, and we would always meet, and their reading improved, and it was lovely. It was a safe space. So, no, I still love the library. Now, Melissa Ratliff just wrote me in. My kids did not get a phone until 13. I would think that the average, you guys let me know about when your kids got their first cell phone, or you if you're young. Yeah, Smurf just walked by and said bar mitzvah. I would think 11, 12, 13. Well, they're saying 25% of parents purchase device for children 6 years old and under. A lot of people are saying, why don't they take the data off and just use them for texting? Well, a 6-year-old's not going to text anyone. What is a 6-year-old? Well, maybe they are. But what are they absolutely doing? Is there any educational point to a 6-year-old having a phone or a device?
No.
I'm trying to. Oh, what's up, Leo?
Says my son got his first cell phone at 7 because we did not have a home phone.
Oh.
We only took it to a friend's house and no games on it. Or stayed
Okay, so who wrote that? That's a phenomenal.
Tiba Chetty.
Tiba Chetty.
Yes.
That's smart. From Instagram. They say they don't have a house landline anymore. And you know what? I kind of forgot about that. So if your kid goes to a sleepover, what are they going to use? Well, maybe that other parent doesn't have a landline. That's not interesting. So at 7, this person felt that their kid needed to reach them in a sleepover. There isn't any games or anything like that. It's just simply to call. I'm okay with that.
What about getting lost? I used to get lost.
The GPS is a big thing. But at 6 years old, when are you walking alone? You walk Jason alone at 6 years old?
Maybe I ran away when I was a kid.
Okay, so we're good issues now. Now we're getting to other issues. Hi, Stu.
Hi.
Hi. Mary Zlozel says, I'm an avid library user. Libraries offer so much more than books. So yeah, this unanimously you guys have said, I can hear you. I don't want Amazon coming in and taking over. You think libraries can be used for more than just books. I see it as a cultural community neighborhood center. And I think it helps the neighborhood create a village, that sort of aspect of it. But Christopher Brown, he's writing me from a library. Thank you very much. My son got his first, oh, that's right, Tibachi, I appreciate that. That's a great conversation to have. April says, my girls first got their phones at 12. Now, when you guys are giving your phones, are they getting full use of the phone, right? So is it like, can you just have no data and it's just games? Can you text but not call? And are you watching what they're downloading? Because that was another part of the study, is a lot of parents aren't focusing on what at all they're downloading. So I'd love to find that. Thomas Henry, I'm using a hotspot from a library. Look at all of us at the library. Give them a Rubik's Cube to play with instead of a phone, says B.H. Brady. And Rubik's Cubes are coming back. Leo's giving a thumbs up. Carrie Hill, no 6-year-old should have a cell phone. I think it depends on the child. Maybe the age of 12 to 14. That's what I was thinking. Again, I'm not a mom, but that was my instinct. And then maybe only a flip phone and not a smartphone. Right, because if all you need is communication, that way you can't download lots of stuff. Why does a 6-year-old need a smartphone? Can anyone answer me that? Would it be educational in any way if they played leapfrog or something on their phone? I'm just trying to give the other side and the other opinion here, because I'm with you. At 6 years old, I was banging water into pots and I was in the sandbox. Or is that too young? I was in the I played in the sandbox for like a really long time. So fifth host, we want to know, when, as parents, grandparents, did you give your kids a cell phone? They're saying 25% of children 6 and under are getting a cell phone. Now, I just want to know why you would give a 6-year-old. They are saying it's for keeping them entertained. I think that's a real issue now. I really do think that's issue. 12 to 13, but not a smartphone, says Sue Bruce. So that's good to know. I want to know when you guys did that also. Forbes deleted a very controversial opinion, just so you guys know, in a magazine about getting rid of your local library. Now, when you get rid of your local library, they suggested replacing it with an Amazon. So I know everyone just right now was like, what? Amazon, so that you could still sell books to the community, but you could use taxpayers' money for something more relevant than a library. I think a library is relevant all the time. I just went to a library. Someone's watching me from a library. But if you guys agree and want to save taxpayers' money, let me know. I also say, and this is just coming from me, medical marijuana can be a surplus of taxes that can help take care of your libraries, which are important. So you guys keep talking to me from libraries and elsewhere. I hope we have a good show. I can't wait to see you guys all at the breaks. Oh, and let me know if you haven't written before your name so I can say hi. I love getting... Today's a shout-out day. It's also tequila day.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, July 24th. We are a live show with a lot to get to, so let's dive right in. Matt Lauer, well, he says he's an easy mark. In his first interview since he was fired from the Today Show, Matt called into a New Zealand radio show talking about a property he owns there. Well, locals are upset over access to the land, but listen to what Matt said about it.
I believe the groups that are behind this are in some ways, unfortunately, taking advantage of some difficult times I've been through over the past 6 months. And I think they see me as an easy mark.
Ooh,
You mean like
cue
he did
the violin.
like he did his interns?
Oh. Is that a good violin?
That's a very good violin. I don't know if you hold it that far away from you. It's not the upright bass.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
There you go.
There we go.
Feeling very comfortable. Maybe a different instrument.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Do you think he has a point?
No, I don't feel so. Look, it's such an emotional manipulation. It's like, oh, guys, you guys are kicking me when I'm down. It's like, no, for years, he took advantage of his position with younger women, and he knew that he had a power play over him, and he used it. Now he's trying to use this so that we're supposed to feel sorry for him and his 18 properties that he didn't deserve. He was boring anyway.
They're taking advantage of my extra property that I have in New Zealand. It sounds a little
But they have nothing to do with one another.
They don't, but I think that what he's saying is very truthful. We just don't want to hear it. Yes, you're teaching people how to treat you. When you were America's dad and were to be respected, that's how people treated you. When we found out you were a scum bucket, that's how people treat you. It goes both ways.
Scum bucket.
Right, it should be expected in some sorts, you know? If you want to do that to other people, if you want to do wrong in your life, expect people to do you wrong later on in your life.
So you don't feel sorry for him?
I don't.
Can you cue the violin?
No, we're not doing that.
Why?
Because we don't want to see you play it
Because I felt bad for you.
Really bad.
Did that. Wow.
Live. And this just in. Ivanka Trump is shutting down her namesake fashion brand, saying, quote, her focus for the foreseeable future will be the work I am doing here in Washington. Now, Ivanka left the company last year to work as a senior advisor in the White House. Sales of the clothing line had soared in 2016, but the company also faced a backlash. Some consumers boycotted stores that carried the line, prompting retailers like Nordstrom to stop selling it. So when I'm reading the comments online, many people are saying, oh no, you're getting rid of your brand because it's not successful. But maybe she's just trying to rebrand herself and focus on Washington. Is that not okay?
I think both of them are probably true because Ivanka Trump's brand became the Robin Hood of all fashion. You could get things that were originally $400 for $1.50. In fact, there were places where you couldn't even get rid of it for $1.50. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think the writing was on the wall and now she's focusing on other things. Great for her.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. I think it's two other things. I don't think she's putting enough time into her business. And you can't, I mean, you're naive if you think that people are just neglecting your product because who your father is. And I think it's a combination of both.
All right, well, we are live, and Raquel Villanueva has news at the moment. Raquel, what's going on?
Thanks, Sam. Now, you only have a few hours left to buy Mega Millions tickets and score one of the biggest jackpots ever. Take a look. The jackpot is up to $522 million for tonight's drawing. Now that's a cash option of $308 million. So DBL Nation, tell us, are you buying a ticket for tonight's drawing? Are you willing to share with us and tell us using the hashtag DBLTake?
So we all put money into a big office pool.
No,
we did not involve you.
No, you didn't.
Because you didn't want to be a part of it, and if we win, you're going to be sorry.
I will be. I'll be very, very sorry. But I'm also buying tickets, so you will be sorry.
Oh. Is it okay for hosts to openly threaten each other on the air? You will be sorry. We Cobra Commander?
No. You're just going to be regretful that you made that comment. And
We didn't really do an office pool.
Now, Jeff, remember two-man crew. You split that 50-50? Me and you?
This could be legally binding, so I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay.
All right, right now, two moms are planning on filing discrimination charges, all because they were breastfeeding at this Minnesota pool. They were first asked to cover up or move to a changing room, and when they refused, an employee asked them to leave. Later, a police officer confronted the two women. Here's what they said about it.
It's a mother's choice, a family's choice, how they choose to feed their child, and it's the law.
And fellow moms staged a nurse-in recently to support the two women, and Minnesota law does allow a mother to breastfeed in any location, public or private. In fact, all 50 states, including Puerto Rico and Hawaii, allow women to openly breastfeed, whether it's in a public space or a private place.
No, I'm going to jump in, and I know, Sam, you're very attached to this story, and I don't want to be rude in any way. But isn't it if someone asks you just to cover up or maybe do that on the side, aren't you respecting the people around you, not judging everyone's opinion, not getting a census of what the room feels? Aren't you doing a favor by just saying to yourself, I'm going to respect other people because they might not think this is fine. I'm going to step away just for a couple minutes and feed my child respectfully under a cover. Why do you need to refuse to cover up?
I think a lot of people feel exactly how you do, and in my opinion, that is the problem. I don't understand why our society is so comfortable with sexualizing breasts, more comfortable than seeing breasts as what they're meant to do naturally, to nourish and feed our children. I know for me personally, I feel judged when I'm out and about and I cover up because I don't even want to use the word respect. I almost think it's sad that I'm more worried about everybody else than my kicking and screaming child who's just trying to get a meal. So I wish that we would somehow switch this dialogue to how do we support the moms. When I see a mom at a pool and I see that her child is struggling and crying and the mom is flustered and she has tears in her eyes because she couldn't sleep the night before, why don't we think, how can I help her? Why are we so quick to say, who is this woman and let's get her out of here because she's making me uncomfortable? Meanwhile, we watch movie after movie, video game after video game, runway after runway show of women's breasts way more out and about than a mother shielding herself to feed her child. What is wrong with our culture?
No, I hear your side, Sam, but it's certain people don't do that. I'm on your side. I don't mind if someone breastfeeds in front of me. It doesn't bother me. If my kid's kicking and screaming and I was breastfeeding, let's not go down that road again. But if I'm in a restaurant and my kid is kicking and screaming, if we're just trying to feed him a meal, not even on a breast, I leave because I'm respectful of the people around me.
I understand that. I do
do that.
But that wasn't
if someone tells me to take my hat off at somewhere, I'm going to take my hat off because I'm respectful of their rules or people around me.
I respect that too. And in this situation, it wasn't like that. The women said they weren't out and about with their breasts being free. In fact, they were shielding their children. I just want our culture to be all about that. It takes a village mentality. Let's help one another out. When we see a mom trying to feed her child, when we see a dad struggling in a restaurant to take his kid into a restroom to change the baby, let's help one another out.
I agree, Sam, I agree, but I think we're missing the point. These are people that have issues with nudity in the human body. That's what it is. You don't see these people going down to Daytona Beach during spring break and telling those girls to cover up, do you? Those girls are arguably showing as much or more than women that are actually breastfeeding.
But those girls aren't in a restaurant or at a pool.
I think it's also a sense of ownership, too. I mean, we're talking about public spaces. This was a public pool. That means that they are part of the community. They paid their tax dollars just like the person who asked them to leave. So when we're talking about these stories and we say, oh, they're protecting the establishment, your last name isn't CVS, your last name is not public pool, your last name isn't anything that has to do with the ownership of this establishment. So when you're talking about maintaining the integrity of something, make sure that you also realize that that person has equal rights as you do.
Yeah. Right. All right. Ooh, chime in, DBL Nation. Would love to hear from you, please. Thank you. Tori Shulman, what's coming up next on DBL?
We're bringing you incredible savings on products you love, like this teeth whitening system. Now, it's typically $300, but we're practically giving it away. Also ahead, this man was busted for naked yoga at the gym. You won't believe his excuse. And wedding drama when a bride fires a bridesmaid. How would you handle the situation? And next, we chat with two twin sisters, both running for office on different sides of the aisle. What we all can learn from them during these polarizing times, right after this.
Talking about the breastfeeding at the pool, Coco, who's a mom of two, brought up a really interesting point that me, as a mama of one, didn't even think about. So many people were telling the mama to go to the locker room.
You can
if you have multiples and one kid's in the pool and you have an infant, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to go run, get your other kid, go run away. First of all, it's your legal right to sit there and nurse your child openly, no matter where you are in the United States. But thank you, Coco, who does our hair here on the show. She texted me in that segment saying, what if your other child is swimming? You forget about mamas with multiples or papas with multiples. It makes it that much more difficult. You're a dad of three.
Right. It just seems like we give so much, we always go, oh, you're a great hard worker mom, you have 3 kids, you raised 3 boys. It's like, but we never talk about the times when those kids were young and the times that mom was flustered and trying to feed one and discipline the other one. And it's like, why don't we support the women that is the reason that we're all sitting here right now, the reason that everybody's watching this. The women are responsible for all of that, but yet they're attacked constantly over nothing.
You should read the comments.
Nothing.
Yeah. The reason why I'm so outraged
is
I was reading the comments right before we started the show, and I would have to say 80% of the comments are, why wouldn't they have left? Why didn't they cover up? How gross. My 7-year-old doesn't want to have to see that. That made me so sad because I don't know.
It's an ingrained lack of respect. I mean, Tupac said it. If you don't, we'll have a race of babies that hate the ladies that make the babies.
Tupac Shakur.
Tupac said it. I'm just saying.
Well, I think a lot of people are uncomfortable just having conversation in general. I think there's a lot of families out there that don't talk about sex, that don't talk about where everything goes on your body or their body. I think a lot of people are uncomfortable telling their children about that. So when they see something like that, they don't even know what to say. They don't know what to say about it because they're embarrassed. They've never had that conversation.
But you're not embarrassed if you're approaching a complete stranger and telling them how they should behave. That's not embarrassment. That's entitlement.
That's a good point.
That isn't. I'm just taking the other side. I could easily jump on your guys' side.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm
just. I don't. Yeah. I think it's just about. I think people just have issues with nudity.
I think.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In a time of political divide in our country, we can all learn a lesson about putting our differences aside from these sisters. They are identical twins, but opposite in their political beliefs. Take a look.
Today, when politics are dividing the country, identical twin sisters are showing us how to simultaneously love and disagree. Twins Monica Sparks and Jessica Ann Tyson are both running for public office in Michigan, but for opposing parties. Jessica is a Republican and Monica is a Democrat. Both sisters are running for county commissioner. They're running in different districts, so the twins won't go head-to-head in the polls. Their political beliefs are different, but these sisters insist they are not divided.
Ooh, political twins Jessica Ann Tyson and Monica Sparks join us now. All right, Jessica Ann, how is this political race impacting your relationship, and what will happen to your relationship if one of you wins and the other loses?
Well, it depends on which one wins and which one loses. But it really has not affected our relationship in a negative way because we understand that each person has their own thoughts, and we respect the fact that she may not think the way that I think, but we have to be fair because her experiences have led her to her own decisions.
Amen. We do the same thing here in DBL. We all have diverse opinions, and I think just having that respectful discourse is what the country is missing. So, Monica, you are the Democrat. Jessica Ann, you're the Republican. Did you guys grow up debating politics?
You know, we were on the debate team growing up, but our mother never, ever lets us argue. Of course, we won't tell her that we do, but we just don't debate and argue. We know that the left wing and the right wing belong to the same bird.
What can we as a country learn from your relationship? We need it.
We can learn that our beautiful democracy that we celebrate here in America needs to work on an everyday basis for everybody. I have the right to my opinion, and she has the right to her opinion, but how do we move the needle forward for the American citizens?
Monica and Jessica Ann, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you both the best of luck and look forward to following your races.
We love you, Daily Blast.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daily Blast.
They are incredible.
I love them.
Me too. I want to hang out with them.
The left wing and the right wing belong to the same bird. Y'all put that on Instagram.
That's good. What an example. What an example that not only two people, family, twins, the closest you could get in this world, and you have opposing point of views on politics.
Right. You can have opposing views and not hate each other.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
It's just like looking at that interview reminded me when I was a middle school teacher. I had twins, Sandra and Sandra, and I could only, one had a beauty mark like she did. And that was the only way I could tell the difference.
What if later on one covered the beauty mark and the other put the beauty mark and they switched places?
Just be, hey, you guys. They were dead on, yeah.
They're incredible. We are live. Brett Forrest with news at the moment.
Thank you, Sam. Deal or No Deal is coming back, and now we have a premiere date. Watch Howie Mandel's big announcement.
Look at their numbers. You see what that says? 12, 5, and 18? Yeah, that's our premiere date. December 5th, 2018. Watch CNBC.
All right, so that's right. The revival will air on CNBC, and this premiere comes almost 10 years after the show was last in production, but the concept still looks pretty much the same. So if you're a fan of the game show, be sure to tune in this winter.
Hey, Brett, you think they're going to get Meghan Markle back?
You know, I was wondering that too, but from what I hear, she's a little preoccupied at the moment, so don't hold your breath.
I wonder if the other briefcase girls, is what they call them, hope that they can become a princess one day too.
I'm sure there is hope.
Okay, we can't get enough of our DBL Deal Blast products. Tori shows us some amazing bargains coming in hot.
These are great. We have some amazing deals on some of the hottest products you can get right now thanks to our friends at morningsave.com. So who's looking for a fashionable watch? Al, I know you are, right? But you can get this Martian MVP Notifier smartwatch. It shows you when you get calls, texts while tracking your steps and calories. It's normally pretty high. It's $215, but today, you know, just cause, you can get it for 89% off. That's $24 at morningsave.com. So need more zen in your life? Get it with this Pure Daily Care Aromatherapy Diffuser Essential Oil gift set. It comes with 6 pure essential oils like lavender and tea tree oil. Now this diffuser is normally as high as $199, but our morningsave.com deal is just $39. Guys, that's 80% off. You're welcome. Again, go to morningsave.com to take advantage of the savings and stick around, guys. We'll have more deals later in on the show.
Wow, thank you, Tori. Woo.
Morning Save is just hooking people up.
I'm obsessed.
Yes.
All right, still ahead on Daily Blast Live, a boyfriend dumps his girlfriend, not for another woman, but for video games. Is this any different than choosing career over love in other careers? And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. Should online bookstores replace public libraries? An article on Forbes.com says yes. Coming up, we're sharing your take on this story.
All right, guys, we were talking about some great deals. Now we have a great gal to give you a great story.
Oh, thank you, Tori.
You're welcome.
So we know that we've been talking about fall stuff kind of creeping in with the pumpkin spice and pumpkin wine getting popular. Well, now there's a new fall adventure that you can take. So the classic Amtrak is actually opening up a fall foliage experience where you can ride in one of their classic cars with a glass dome.
Oh,
So you
I
can
like that.
actually look up and enjoy the fall foliage. Beautiful adventure. It's happening on the East Coast. So Tori, you might have a product that would be really good for this.
What? I just don't know what you mean. Oh, wait, I do. Guys, Motorola Focus HD Wi-Fi with 2-way audio, zoom, and smart tag. It streams up to 1080 full HD video to your smartphone. Also, there's a little tag here. You can put this on your kids or on your dogs or cats, and if they leave, they'll send you a text message. So use this as an easy way to capture amazing fall foliage in New England. It's super cheap. We're giving it to you for $59, down from $110. So that's a 47% discount. So great way to show off the fall foliage. What's going on? I hope this story doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck. Trending right now on Esquire.com is the newest summer trend, and you might think summer's the time to undress, wear bathing suits, shorts, short sleeves. No, we're doing socks now.
I see this lately.
Yeah, and you know what? Jeff is super into it, pairing some really fun socks with his shoes. Sometimes not even wearing socks, but he'll have the ones with Lawson on them. Very cute.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Morning Save might be able to hook us up with this new summer trend.
I think so. There's a 12-pack of Zeke Men's assorted bright and bold socks, 4 variations. You guys can usually get it for $60, but we're only getting it now for $19. So if you're looking for socks, we can definitely look at that for morningsave.com.
Thank you.
Should online bookstores replace public libraries? That's the claim from a now deleted Forbes article. The opinion piece suggested that certain libraries should now become Amazon stores to sell in order to save taxpayers money. Amazon should take them over. After facing backlash, Forbes pulled the article off their website. DBL Nation, this got you talking. Take it away, Sam.
Thank you so much, Tori. Let's get right to your comments. Liz says, that is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Libraries provide more than just books. They provide family activities all year long, summer hangouts for kids, small business events, the list goes on. I agree with Liz.
I agree with Liz to an extent. Liz, I've lived all over the country, some major cities, some smaller cities. I think in smaller cities, I think the library can be a good place for kids to hang out. But honestly, and I'm not taking a shot at public libraries, somebody that went to graduate school, I studied most of the time in the library. The libraries are, especially in major cities, very full of people that need some place to have air conditioning, to have free Wi-Fi, and a lot of times those people are a little unstable. A lot of public libraries, including the one here in Denver, has 2 armed security guards working at all times. I would not send my kid to a major library. So I'm sorry, I agree with you, Liz, but you need to check that library out first before you send your kid down there by itself.
Good point.
Well, Jeffrey writes, I don't think that Amazon needs any taxpayer money. Jeffrey, I agree. I paid more to Amazon just shopping online than I did to the IRS last year. But I also think I'm a little disappointed that Forbes took the article down.
Me too.
Stand behind what you're saying. If anything, have a conversation about it. Don't just take it down and act like it never happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Sherry says, huge fan of libraries, access to computers and internet for those that don't have it. I think that's exactly our point here, Sherry. We say that there wouldn't be an article about it if something wasn't going wrong in those particular libraries. I think from a smaller town, I'm from a little smaller town outside Chicago, I grew up going to the library. I'd go there and get books, movies, games, all sorts of stuff. So I think it's a great idea. Like Al said, I think you just need to be careful what kind of library.
Just go down and stick your head in there first.
Fair enough. Coming up on Daily Blast Live, Shark Week swims into its 30th year. We're showing you some of the biggest stars in sports swimming with the Sharks. But first, twin brothers find inspiration from an unlikely place. Football players who are twins, too. Their story next in Heartthreads.
All right, Nicholas Little, I'm just reading your comments, guys. Tori, when you get the breaks with Kelly G, you should give her a dramatic intro. Let's just walk over there. Kelly? What is this?
I'm sorry.
Do you have the...
No, we just did it.
The story? Bum, bum, bum. Nicholas, that was for you. I hope you enjoyed that. A lot of people are saying about the baby covering up. Sherry Powers writes in, I'm with you, Naomi. I'll give you what Naomi said earlier. But that's another reason why I would cover up, just to give the extra bit of privacy for my baby and me. And I want to ask you guys this question, and I know I should probably ask Sam this, so we're going to walk over to Sam, but she's a little busy. But do you feel at all that when you cover up, you're covering up your rights to breastfeed? Does that make sense? So it literally covers up your rights. You do have legal rights to do so. Now, I'm not saying I would do this. As a parent, I'm very liberal, as you guys know, but I might cover up myself. But does the cover up feel at all like you're covering up your right to do so? Because you absolutely do have the right. Just a question. I'm not saying that's how I feel. I just want to know what you guys think. So people are very excited that Deal or No Deal is coming back. Naomi says, I personally could never breastfeed in public as I feel that it's a private moment. People have to request both sides. Very true, and that's a personal thing between you and that person. But if you feel like you can breastfeed and you're already in a bathing suit, which shows some boobage, is that the technical term? Boobage? Cleavage? How different is it from breastfeeding your baby? Which is another question. You're at the pool. Okay, so that's what Chris has to say. And we're going to move on from that. Great interview, Sam, says Tammy. Great sisters. Wasn't that such a good line? The left wing and the right wing are all part of one bird. Oh, yeah. I wish we could just put that on every license plate all over, because it's true. They all make one bald eagle. Would it be okay if someone asked someone to cover up because they didn't like what they were wearing? Example, a man in a banana hammock. A banana hammock, if you don't know, is a Speedo. It's a tight, bathing suit, very tight. It's a great point. If I didn't like that, could I say, hey, can you please cover up your banana hammock?
All right, 30 seconds.
Fair question.
Really good point.
Although one is feeding a child and one is legal, one is indecent exposure if it's that uncomfortable. But it's a good point. Should it be brought to both sides? I'm not saying either one because, again, I'm not a mom yet. When I do, I want to breastfeed, but I don't know what I will feel like. Finally, Cade says, Amazon better not replace public libraries. It's a horrible idea. Oh, yeah, it's the 21st century. Everything has to be internet powered.
3, 2. Work hard for you. Affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today's Heart Threads is all about inspiration. Twin boys turn to twin pro football players for guidance. Watch this. These twins got some inspiration from twin NFL players. 6-year-old Royce and Kyan Moore are twin brothers and best friends.
Royce and Kyan, Kyan and Royce, they are so identical, like I say, but yet so different.
Kyan wants to be an art teacher, while Royce wants to be a football player. The twins have another difference that few see: a prosthetic leg. Royce was born with a condition that resulted in his leg being amputated, but it hasn't slowed him down. Twin NFL players Shaquem and Shaquille Griffin are heroes to Royce and Kyan. Shaquem is the first one-handed player to make the NFL. With some help, Shaquem and Shaquille gave their young fans some advice.
You know, sometimes you got to make many sacrifices for your brother, but as long as you stay by each other, he's always going to be there. You know, hopefully one day we can be big fans of you guys, man.
It's advice that Royce and Kyan plan to follow.
Nobody can stop me and my brother from doing nothing.
Incredible.
I love that, man. I love that, especially growing up in sports.
You were playing football.
Of course I played sports. Why are you laughing? It's
just waiting for you to elaborate.
And also, I'm not a doctor, but I would assume growing up with a prosthetic, if that's all you know, it'll move just like the rest of his body.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, if you're leaving us right now, you can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up next on Daily Blast Live.
A boyfriend dumps his girlfriend. For video games? Has gaming mania gone too far? Police bust a man for nude yoga in a public gym. We're sharing our workout horror stories. And Star Trek star Zachary Quinto swings by.
Aliens have visited us before.
We get the scoop on the next installment of the hit franchise, coming up when DBL continues. Oh, man, it was very uncomfortable. Sherry wrote me, Tori, I love having real life conversation, guys, so please write me back and forth. Tori, I'm naturally a modest person anyway, but if I wasn't, I'd probably breastfeed openly. And I'm not that modest. I certainly wouldn't ask a mother to cover up while she's feeding, whether it's legal or not. And I think that's true. Did moms out there find themselves who thought they would be openly breastfeeding uncomfortable or shy or reserved? Or as Sam said, she feels like she sometimes covers up out of respect for others, and then she feels like she's not standing up for normalizing breastfeeding. Did that happen to you guys? Like, do you think when I have kids, I'm going to suddenly be more modest? I wonder if anyone has an opinion about that. Tammy Gibson, absolutely love that Heart Threads, that brother story. Good sibling story today. Guys, it is National, isn't it, Kelly, Tequila Day?
Oh, it is.
All right, so what I want from you guys is, and this might be something I cover in the back. Oh, I thought something was booing and hissing me, but it's not. I was like, I haven't even said anything yet. And it's like my boss's office. Favorite tequila drink with recipe if you have it. I'm going to be doing some Insta stories tonight on Tequila Time, Tori's Tequila Time. I'm literally making this up as I speak because I think it's a good idea. So what I'm looking for is tequila recipes. And if you can come up with a good pun, tequila mockingbird, if we can come up with something like that, that'd be great. So best tequila drinks. I don't want to do anything too crazy. So if you're thinking of like bitters from a dragon fruit, no. Just like paprika, triple sec, tequila. That sounds horrible. So if you have any tequila drinks that you guys find refreshing, especially in the summer, I'm going to do a little Tori's Tequila Time, and I'm going to feature them on my Insta story. So let me find out what you guys think. Sherry Power says, save your nude yoga for home or nude beach. Not everyone wants to see your stuff, especially during down dog. It's a very good point, Sherry.
3, 2.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. We are a live show. We have a lot to get to, so let's get into it. A video of a 10-year-old boy being pinned to the ground by police in Athens, Georgia is going viral. The child's father was under arrest in a domestic disturbance, and the boy became distraught and emotional. The police took him to the ground but did not arrest or cuff him. Now, in response to the now viral clip, the police have released their body cam footage. Let's watch.
That's not what happened. That's not what his.
Stop now!
Don't do that. Don't grab my officer.
Okay.
Don't do that. Stop. Stop.
Man, let him go.
We're back off. Back off. Back off. Stop.
Well, I watched that whole video, and I know right off the bat I'm not going to get positive feedback for this, but he didn't hurt the boy. The boy was not cuffed. The boy did charge the officer. I don't understand another way the officer was supposed to handle it. It looked harsh by the video. If you watch the whole thing back, there is a good cop and a bad cop in this situation. The other cop was saying, listen, the little boy, as soon as he got put to the ground, said, I will not resist. I apologize, officer. I did not mean to do that. He goes, I'm going to let you go. You're going to stand up. We're going to talk person to person. Then he gave him, he goes, listen, go say goodbye to your dad. He let him go say goodbye to his dad. It was handled, I thought it was handled properly. There was no cuffing going on. There was nothing aggressive that I saw.
Well, I watched the whole video, and this child was failed miserably. There are 3 to 4 other adults that were in that situation. He was very upset because it was a very upsetting situation. Why no one at any point didn't take control of this young child and bring them inside so that they're not witnessing things that he shouldn't be witnessing. God only knows what went down before the cops ever showed up to that home. I know what we saw, what went down after, and that was a big mistake by leaving this child to his own devices.
Yeah, I completely agree. I often say, Erica, that if we treat every situation the same, we're not going to give each one the intense scrutiny that it deserves. Mm-hmm. There have been plenty of situations that I've talked about on this show where I've been like, the police were wrong, the police should have handled this differently. In this situation, I completely agree with you. I kept looking like, why is this kid outside saying this? Whether it was a domestic situation or whether it was a medical emergency where somebody wasn't breathing or something like that. Your first obligation as a parent, as a provider, is to shield a child from trauma. This kid should not have been out there. He reacted as somebody that's seeing their father being arrested should. That was on those parents in that situation. That's my opinion.
Very traumatic.
It was just a sad situation.
Very. DBL Nation, please chime in. We would love to hear from you. All right, switching gears, it's Shark Week, everybody, and we couldn't be more excited as the Discovery Channel event hits its 30th anniversary and Swimming with the Sharks. This year are some really big names. We got Rob Gronkowski. I hope I said that right. Okay. Yep. Lindsey Vonn and Aaron Rodgers. And their scary special aired last night. It showed the athletes tagging sharks so they can track them and assist in preservation efforts. Well, joining us now is the Shark After Dark host, Julian McCullough. We're so excited to have you here, Julian. So, Julian, number one, thanks for joining us. Tell us what's new about this year's Shark Week.
Well, it's the 30th anniversary of Shark Week. Can you believe that? 30 years of Shark Week. It's old enough to rent a car. But it's great. This year, because it is the 30th anniversary, we added some new bells and whistles. My favorite one, first of all, Bob the Shark is back. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bob the Shark, but he's a pun-loving shark suit, and he's a lot of fun. But we also have a mechanical bull shark that's like a real mechanical bull that our guests are riding. And last night, Lindsey Vonn rode it for 19 seconds. It was pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Jules, that's great.
That's
First
not
of all,
exactly scientific, but it's fun.
Jules, it's good to hear from you, man. Last time I saw you, your daughter gave me an impromptu Vogue lesson at the house.
That's
It's
right.
very cool.
Well, she was getting ready for her first drag brunch. We took her to drag brunch for her 5th birthday, and they brought her on stage, and she vogued like a pro.
That is awesome.
His daughter is the coolest human being I've ever met. All right, so I know if I know you, you're going to do it up. And this, this Shark Week is going to be bigger and crazier this year. But what are your plans? How are you going to make it the craziest one ever?
Well, I don't know. I think maybe I'm trying to get them to let us drop a live shark onto the studio audience. I'm going to see if we can do that, but probably not. No, what we're really about on this show is discussing the shows we just watched, and the shark conservation thing is big. It's like, it's kind of a bummer to hear about it, but the populations are dwindling so fast. It's like, it's really sad because the footage is so exciting, but like they're getting harder and harder to find. So really, we're trying to focus on getting people to like, maybe don't throw your plastic water bottle in the ocean when you're done drinking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's going to be crazy. I mean, Shaq was on it this year. Rob Riggle. It's been a great year, and the ratings have been insane, and the online stuff is crazy. People get so into it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Julian, and I love that you guys are all about preservation and
Thanks, brother.
education
Yeah.
as well. Thank you.
Also, we stream live on YouTube after the show, Shark After Darker, and I host that, and that's the uncensored version.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
The better version.
Love you.
Yeah. Would you ever swim with sharks, Al?
I have swam with sharks. I hosted a kid show called Awesome Adventures, and I got into the Atlantic Sea Aquarium. I had to take a 2-hour scuba diving lesson.
You went in the aquarium.
I'm sorry, it's the biggest one in the world, Sam. Do you want one bigger than that? I was in there with 50-foot nurse sharks. I wasn't in the ocean. I was there with I free swam. I wasn't in the cage like the rest of the little scaredy cats. I was in the aquarium with them.
Were little kids alongside you?
No, it was a 2-hour scuba diving course to get your certification. I went in there. I was under the water. I was there with 50-foot manta rays, nurse sharks, whale sharks. I was in there I was in the real tub.
In the aquarium.
But what did you do, Sam?
I swam with them in Belize, in the ocean, the open ocean.
The open. They were the little ones, though.
They were the nurse sharks.
Oh, so like mine, except mine were full grown.
Yeah, but mine were full grown too. But I wasn't in a.
Did you have stingrays in there too? I bet you didn't.
I wasn't in an
I'll let you know how
aquarium.
they are. Me and stingrays are cool.
Cool. All right, a pro video gamer is getting a lot of flack on social media. 23-year-old Douglas Martin, a.k.a. FaZe Censor, just dumped his gorgeous girlfriend, weather presenter Yana Garcia. Why? To spend more time playing Call of Duty. Watch.
For me to manage being a professional Call of Duty player, being a Gymshark athlete, being a YouTuber, making videos, playing Call of Duty full time, taking care of 2 dogs, having a house and going through renovations, and then also managing a girlfriend, it's like I had to pick my poison of what I wanted to spend my time and focus on. Like there's only 24 hours in a day.
Well, Yana did respond, and she responded that she's heartbroken, but she did thank all her fans for their support.
I completely agree with this man.
I agree with them too.
Yeah, you got to make a decision. You can fall in love anytime, but you only have a finite amount of time in your career to start your career and make a certain amount of money.
What's wrong
because
with
other human beings are anchors and they hold you back, and most of the people that aren't where they should be in life is because they had an anchor.
I think that this is a sign of somebody that's a little too excessive, a little too.
You mean like most successful people? That's what you're describing.
No, I think there's plenty of room for balance when you are a successful person.
Yeah, if you want to be a C+ student, lots of balance.
I think he's got a lot of love in his heart just for himself, because I saw a giant portrait of himself in the background.
I did see that too.
So there's no room for a girl in that picture.
Well, clearly there wouldn't have been room for either one of them in that picture because she takes a lot of photos of herself too. Exactly. And I mean, rightfully so. She's a beautiful girl. But here's the thing. He's 23. They're 23 and 27. Like, how many times have we changed since that age? And she went on, moved to Mexico, and decided to pursue her dreams of modeling and acting. So absolutely, he should focus on that. Everybody's so worried about who's going to get the hot person. You can be hot at any point in your life. Try to be successful and actually have a skill of some sort.
Oh. And then try and get some balance in there, according to Shaka over here.
Okay. Well, I'll elaborate in the break.
I'm in so much trouble. Do not watch the break.
Okay, grab that salt and cut those limes, folks. It's National Tequila Day. Brett Forrest has some tequila deals coming in. Caliente.
Ooh, nice, Sam. That means hot if you didn't know. And there are a lot of deals out there. First, Chili's is offering $5 margaritas today, 3 different flavors to go perfectly with those baby back ribs or fajitas. And next, Hop Dottie Burger Bar. They've got $5 classic frozen margaritas and $2 little margaritas. That's not bad at all. And finally, On the Border is getting in on the tequila fun. They're also offering $2 classic margs. And if you really want to throw caution to the wind, tequila shots start at $3. So DBL Nation, where are you going to go for National Tequila Day? Let us know.
Oh, anybody doing anything fun for Tequila Day?
I don't know, but we are definitely going to Chili's because I feel like it comes up every single day that I'm here.
We're all secretly Chili's fans.
How fun would it be to go to Tequila, Mexico at like a tequila plant and taste tequila there?
Yeah.
No.
Let's do that. I think Chili's seems more economically reasonable.
Yeah.
I'll go to tequila.
Leave the babies. We're going to Tequila, Mexico. Come on.
It's like drinking champagne in Champagne, France. Tequila and Tequila, Mexico. I
actually
They're both on my bucket list.
You must make more than I do here at the show.
What?
I did that.
Oh my God.
We gotta go.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay, Tori, show me what's coming up on DBL.
Don't miss our DBL Deal Blast. We're offering this smartwatch for an incredible price. Stick around to take advantage of the savings. We're also shining the DBL spotlight on a young girl who turned being bullied into a career opportunity. She is truly inspirational, and her story is coming up. But first, chatting with the stars, actor Zachary Quinto talks his new show and his future on Star Trek. Don't miss it.
The balance situation. Erica did underscore the fact that he's 23. That does put things into perspective for me, because I remember when I met Mark, he was at the ripe age of 23, and Mark played Call of Duty so many hours that I started a MySpace page called Girlfriends Against Call of Duty.
And how many members were part of that page?
2. Me
There
and
we
my
go.
friend Mel. 0. Yeah.
So, okay, let me ask you this, though. Would it have changed your opinion of Call of Duty if Mark was making something? Let's say he was
Well,
making.
this kid, we looked it up.
He was making like $500 a week.
No, I totally agree.
This guy's a millionaire.
I totally agree that it's a profession. My thing is, this has nothing to do with gaming. In any profession, I personally don't like to see excessiveness, whether that be as a gamer, whether that be someone here at Daily Blast Live, whether that be an attorney. I don't think working 24 hours and at 23 is a different story. But later on in life, I would like to see some balance. I think it's important to balance family, going to take some time off for yourself, going maybe to the gym. I think that represents a healthy mindset.
I would say this, and this again, that has nothing to do with gaming, just in terms of almost how human beings, we kind of live our lives. We allow you, once you're done with high school, I feel like we blow the next 8 years goofing around to college, doing keg stands, going to goofy football games, which I know I sound like an old fart right now, but those are the years where you can stay up and work for 20 hours in a row.
For
If you do want to work on something, I'm 41.
Yeah.
I get sleepy now.
Yeah.
I wish I had buckled down more.
Me too.
I was studying in school, but I think if you did want to go, if you were like, I want to start my own magazine, you have the energy at 20 to do that.
I agree.
So you got to it's almost like a gift from God. You have like 10 years to go hard.
I saw.
Oh, go ahead. Well, those are generally the years that you're doing your internship and going to school, and you have a
And
part-time
waitressing,
job.
yeah.
You know, those are the times that you do that. It's just those internships and stuff look a lot different today.
I just saw a quick thing on Instagram that was funny. It said, I used to sneak out of my house to go to parties. Now I sneak out of parties to go back to my house.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
That's so true.
All right, thanks, guys. That's hilarious.
All right, got it.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today's Chatting with the Stars is my dream interview. I grew up watching Star Trek, and now I get to talk with the Zachary Quinto, who plays, of course, Spock in the series reboot. But right now, we're talking about his new show, In Search Of, on the History Channel. Here we go.
I'm drawn to the unknown, the otherworldly, and those experiences so beyond belief, they call everything into question. I'm exploring some of the most enduring mysteries that continue to haunt mankind in search of the truth, wherever it leads me.
Zachary Quinto, thank you so much for joining us on Daily Blast Live. You host and are executive producer for the In Search Of series. So tell us about it, and what are we in search of?
Well, we are in search of unknown mysteries and phenomena from around the world and beyond. It's based on a show that was on in the late 70s and the early 80s, hosted by my dear friend, the late, great Leonard Nimoy.
May he rest.
So I am carrying the mantle further, and then we carry it off into new directions and explore things like artificial intelligence or mind control, life after death, superhumans, time travel. So there's a lot of experiences that we dive into, literally and figuratively.
Ooh, I like that. Dive into that. Well, as you said, the show was hosted by the one, the only Leonard Nimoy. Let's pour one out for our homie. You took over for the role of Spock. How does one step into those iconic Spockish shoes? How do you do that?
Well, I was really lucky to have Leonard as part of the process, you know, and we became incredibly close friends for the last decade of his life. And so there was a real connection between us. I feel like that was a part of that experience and a part of this one.
This is going to make me choke up, but my family is a Trekkie family, as I said. My mom has a chronic illness, and Star Trek was the one show and still is that soothes her, including you. The next film, Star Trek 4, will be directed by a woman, S.J. Clarkson. Tell me, are there any updates or scoops that you can spill that I can pass on to my mother?
Oh, I wish I had some info. You know, I think we're taking it in a new direction with SJ, who's amazing. I've worked with her before. A real milestone for the franchise. A film has never been directed by a woman before. The TV shows certainly have, but never a film. I don't know too much about the story, other than to say that I think it'll be a real adventure. We're all really excited to come back and make another movie, and it's always so gratifying to know how much it means to people in their lives, and you know how much it soothes people, like you said, and gives people hope. And there's such an inherent faith in humanity in the Star Trek universe. So please tell your mom that you know, I send her a lot of good wishes and wish her the best and thank her for, you know, being such a fan of the world, because we love when we can bring comfort to people. That's so important, and I'm sorry to hear she's going through that, but sending her a lot of good love.
That means a lot. Thank you. We watched our whole childhood. Gene Roddenberry is my godfather in my head. Thank you so much, Zachary Quinto. And I've waited my whole life to say this. Live long. Where's the camera?
Live long and prosper.
Thank you so much.
Wait, what did you say? Live long and what?
And prosper.
Oh, you did say it. Okay, good. I was right there with you. Live long and prosper. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I always remember this interview. Thanks a lot.
Great. Thank you. Take care.
We are live. Raquel Villanueva has space news at this moment.
Thanks, Tori. Look up to the sky tonight and you'll be able to see the red planet shining brightly, and it's about to get brighter. Mars is going to be the closest it's been to Earth in the last 15 years. Now, you don't need a telescope to see the planet's orange-red glow, but if you do have one, you'll be able to see its surface in detail. Now, the best viewing times are Friday through Tuesday, as soon as it gets dark.
Thank you, Raquel. I had to bring Tori over real quick because I just wanted you to speak to why you were so emotional in that interview.
Yeah, when you have a parent or if anyone's at home taking care of a loved one and they have the one thing that isn't medicine that soothes them, and then that person speaks to you in real life and says hi to your mom, there's a bizarre connection, and I get to send that to my mom. It means the world to me, and I'll never forget it.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We love you, Judy. We love you.
Yes.
Coming up on Daily Blast Live.
Hey, Judy.
We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. We have an awesome digital story from the one, the only Angelica. Pop that collar, boo.
Oh, thanks.
What's going on?
So this is interesting. This is trending on prnnewswire.com. Apparently, having low battery on your phone or any electronic device causes anxiety. This is affecting 9 out of 10 people, which I kind of agree with that, Tori. If you're on your phone, you have low battery.
You see that red mark? You are in trouble.
It goes into the full sign of it, but yeah, it causes people anxiety, which obviously makes sense. I wish there was something to, that keeps a long battery.
Wait a minute, hold on. I have an idea. Is this it?
Oh, yes.
It's the Martian MVP Notifier smartwatch, which is really cool, you guys, because it's a fashion watch. So if you can see, guys, it looks like a really cool Tissot. It's right behind me, or like a Patek Philippe, if you will. But it's also a smartwatch, so it can notify you, so you're not missing any calls if you're out of battery, texts, apps. It works as a fitness tracker. It's down from $215 to $24. Morningsave.com/Daily Blast Live.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today we are shining the DBL spotlight on a girl who's making money moves on the very thing bullies used to tease her about, her dark skin. Now she's gone from bullied to boss.
This tweet started a revolution. Taylor Pollard's beautiful little sister was being bullied because of her dark skin. The tweet went viral and the responses blew up. The sisters channeled the experience into a business, and the clothing line, Flexin' in My Complexion, was born. Soon, Hollywood royalty like Lupita Nyong'o took notice and Nike came calling. The little girl, who was once bullied for her looks, is now a model and a boss.
Sisters Taylor and Karis join us now. Welcome, ladies, and thank you so much for being with us. Now, Taylor, I want to start with you. Hashtag flexin' in my complexion is trending. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, you're pretty for a black girl. I've heard that so many times growing up. How do you think flexin' in my complexion is changing what we think is beautiful?
You can be pretty regardless of what your skin tone is, and you just need to appreciate other skin tones and, love yourself as well.
Now, Karis, let me ask you, how did you feel when you were bullied about your dark complexion, and how do you feel now that you're a boss business owner?
Well, when I was getting bullied, I didn't feel comfortable myself, especially in my skin color, and they will always mess me for my dark complexion. But now that I'm a boss woman, I'm like, look at me now, bullies, because I own my clothing line called Flexin' in My Complexion.
Karis, what was it like to do the Nike photo shoot?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be a Nike model. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. And yes, you are a Nike model. Now, Taylor, what does the support from celebrities mean to your business, and what's next?
Well, honestly, it's so shocking that celebrities like Lupita, Alicia Keys have supported Karis, even Snoop Dogg too. Because, it's always good to know that you have support from people who are really up there. So it lets us know that we're doing something right.
What would you like to say to other girls who are being teased about their skin color?
I would tell them that you are gorgeous. It doesn't matter what other people think about you at all. It's what you think about yourself, and you shouldn't let them bring you down at all.
Amen, little sis. Taylor and Karis, thank you for joining us and letting the world know that beauty comes in all shades and colors. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Wow, a girl boss and a mother hustler.
Yeah, I have to say that was very cathartic for me, just because I, growing up as a dark-skinned woman or dark-skinned girl, there was a lot of things and made me feel like I wasn't good enough, I wasn't pretty enough, the standard of beauty didn't include me. And to see this young lady take charge of not only her image and how she's seen and views the world, but also inspiring other young women is just everything.
Wow, it was beautiful.
Really good.
Unbelievable. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, we are here with Brooke Way, looking fabulous in her 90s flannel.
Yes.
Girl, tell me what's going on.
On expose.ie right now, it's tv3.ie if you want to check it out. There are 11 of the best hiking must-haves. If you're going on a hike, being here in Colorado, we're hiking all the time. There's a lot of great hiking out here. So this article, yeah, it's perfect for what you need to know, the essentials. Obviously, headwear and eyewear, or headgear and eyewear. You need a good hat to shield you from the sun. Clothing, obviously.
Don't go naked like that guy.
Yeah, I hope you wear. But they say to do layers, which is important, especially if it rains. There's a rain jacket.
It's super hot.
Yeah, so check the full list out at expose.ie. And I know you have something that might be helpful on a hike. Say you're running out of cell battery and you still have service. Some hikes don't have service. You got to make sure you have service.
Yeah, make sure that, and you know, someone knows where you are at all times. Guys, we are selling the morningsave.com. It's called the Zen Logic Bluetooth Speaker and Power Bank. So it's a Bluetooth, it's a speaker, but it also powers you up at the same time. It's originally $30. Let's push Brooke out of the way right there. It's originally $30, but if you go to morningsave.com/dailyblastlive, Brooke, how much do you think it is? Down from 30?
Let's say $20.
I think you should go even lower, guys. It's $10. $10. So go to morningsave.com. What it is again is a Zen Logic Bluetooth. It's a speaker, but it's also a power charger, which we just learned from Angelica will make you anxious if you don't have it.
We should give some of our viewers prizes.
Oh, do you guys think we should?
Yeah.
Okay, what if we give the person,
They take a picture of their completed process.
like with your computer or your iPhone, take a picture, snap it with your process ordered, and we might give away something. Why don't you send it into info@dailyblastlive.com. Let's push Brooke more away.
Now is the time for
We love sharing your comments, and we have a lot, too many to count in regard to the breastfeeding. Rosetta Williams on Facebook, I breastfed at a time when if I was public, I had to cover up. We live in a time when people are uptight seeing a breastfeeding mother. Sherry Powers on YouTube, I always covered up when nursing my babies just for my own modesty. I'm not going to ask another mother to cover up, though. I think that's rude. I want to get in some comments about Tori because we have a lot of comments in regard to her interview. Jay Berg on YouTube, oh, Tori, we love our mom, so sweet. Thomas Henry, don't cry, Tori, but that was an emotional interview. As you can tell, I'm actually emotional as you were talking about it in the interview. That was a great interview. And Nicholas Little, Tori, last year I actually made my mom a video with some of her people saying stay strong. I think it's important to let our moms who are sick what they mean to us. Aww. All right. We love you, Tori. We'll see you tomorrow.
These are the two crazy blondes.
Tori and Sam here with two crazy blondes.
We're going to learn the Kalimatinos dance,
which is a Greek traditional dance mixed in with some, of course, Mamma Mia moves because we love us some Mamma Mia.
What?
Hoppa! In this dance that you're about to teach us, people will bust a move with us, knowing what we're doing?
Absolutely.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's do that one more time.
One. Oh, yeah, I'm good. We're good.
One, this way. Two.
You're doing great.
Three.
Doing great.
Four.
That's beautiful.
Tori, you're really good at this.
Well, let's see me try it and practice. Really do it.
1, 2, 3,
Oh,
yeah. You guys got it.
Woo! Tori, grab your hanky. Sorry, my hanky. Sorry, here we go.
Now you turn.
Yeah, I do. This way. That's where I was thinking.
2, 3, clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, July 24th. We are a live show with a lot to get to, so let's get started. This just in, Matt Lauer's first interview since being fired from the Today Show. Matt called into a New Zealand radio show talking about a property he owns there. Locals are upset over access to the land. Well, we got some of that interview. Let's listen.
I believe the groups that are behind this are in some ways, unfortunately, taking advantage of some difficult times I've been through over the past 6 months. And I think they see me as an easy mark.
Cue the violins! You gotta be kidding me. Or do you think Matt has a point? I stopped.
Pretty.
You can play with stopping? You can still play.
I can still stop and play at the same time. I mean, does he have a point here, or is that ridiculous?
Listen, I'm not going to stick up for Matt Lauer, but they're two completely separate incidents. He's saying that because of what happened to him at the Today Show, which rightfully so, you got to suffer those repercussions, buddy, that he is now vulnerable to, in his words, being a victim and people picking on him. So I don't think because what he did in the past should somehow influence how people treat his property.
I do. In New Zealand, that's all I have to say. No, in New Zealand, there's a decency law, and they say if they don't find that person decent, they don't have to accept him in their community. I have no problem.
But it's not about that. He has, without getting into the weeds, he has a property there. It blocks off some areas where people like to go visit, and people are poking at him, saying that he needs to leave that property because they don't have access to the land anymore. He's actually gone out of his way. I can't believe I'm defending Matt Lauer here. This is embarrassing. But he's gone out of his way to allow those people to have access to his land. So why can't we just separate the two issues?
Because they don't like him.
Follow him.
They don't like him. And when you don't like somebody in your community, you ostracize them. That's kind of what human beings do. You isolate what you consider to be the problem, whether it is or not, and you remove that person. And that's what's happening now, and he's crying foul, but it's falling on deaf ears.
This is the court of public opinion, and I just want to pose a question to the panel, which is, how long is the penance? You know, we all know what he did. We all know what Harvey did. Now, Matt's out there, Harvey isn't, but
I think Matt Lauer is different than Harvey Weinstein, because Harvey Weinstein raped women. He was a serial rapist,
but Lauer's
allegedly.
had some pretty rough accusations. So my question is,
they weren't raped, though. They were consensual. That's different.
Well, okay, but I'm just saying, when someone takes a tumble like this, how long is their penance? How long does it go before we, stop harassing or targeting or saying he doesn't deserve to be in our restaurant?
It's a good question.
And I'm just curious what you guys think about that.
I think it's once you've shown true contrition, and that's by, I mean, you think about it, I didn't agree with it. I wasn't super excited for Hulk Hogan to be back in the Hall of Fame of the WWE, but he did put some sweat equity into it. He did talk to kids. He did apologize publicly, and he did go over and over. I'm not down with it, but at least he did try. If I start seeing some PSAs with Matt Lauer, if I start seeing him going around talking to networks about here's what I did, here's what I did wrong.
Here's what I learned.
That's how you start being allowed back in the restaurant.
Taking the initiative.
Well, DBL Nation, you tell us. That's a really great question, Bo. All right, another story happening right now. Ivanka Trump is shutting down her namesake fashion brand, saying, quote, her focus for the foreseeable future will be the work I am doing here in Washington. Ivanka left the company last year to work as a senior advisor in the White House, and sales of the clothing line had soared in 2016, but the company also faced a backlash. Some consumers boycotted stores that carried the line, prompting retailers like Nordstrom to stop selling it. Tori, you are our D.C. expert, our political expert. Do you think this is a good move of hers, or is it because people aren't buying, or are we reading too into it?
I think it's 100% that people just aren't buying it. I'm also a clothes person, and I've gone to so many Nordstrom's rack, and I'm sorry, I hear people all the time, and tell me if you have, where they go through, oh, that's so cute, Mom. Oh, it's Ivanka. And as a consumer, that's your right not to purchase because you don't agree with her agenda. Now, some people say, well, she's not in the administration. She had an office. She was a senior advisor. And if that's your way of choosing as your consumer not to do so, and goodwill, as you said, Sam, there's a ton of Ivanka Trump shoes, clothing, blouses. It's personal with her.
But it did turn out good numbers in 2016. You look at the Kardashians, they are moguls, but they had to close some stores. It was a business mindset for them so they could make money here because they were losing money here. I don't know where I lie on this one yet again.
Well, just remember, Tori, half the country does, support the president and does support her. I think Ivanka is great. She's been a fashion icon, and she is the brand. To completely divest from that is very difficult because it's Ivanka Trump. It's the Trump name. Yes, there's polarizing sides on this issue and on her, but when you can't be the brand that you are, I think it makes your business suffer, quite frankly.
All right, so you think she made the right decision?
I do think she made the right decision. She can't control it.
Okay. All right. Well, we are live. Brett Forrest. Brett, you got some news at the moment. What's going on, Brett?
That's right, Sam. A Pennsylvania state board has recommended that Bill Cosby be classified as a sexually violent predator. The label would require Cosby to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life and undergo counseling or treatment at least once a month. A Pennsylvania judge will hold a hearing to accept or reject the board's recommendation. 81-year-old Cosby was convicted in April on sexual assault charges.
Wow. Hey, Brett, do we know when the next trial is?
So the sentencing for his April conviction is set for September 24th, and Cosby faces up to 10 years in prison.
How could he not be considered a sexual predator?
He would have to be.
I would think, I mean, how many women, how many drugs, how many times of the rape? I mean, he was convicted. How could you not be a predator?
But he was convicted not of all the women, though.
I know,
he was only convicted as one woman. Like, even only hearing that he's facing up to 10 years, considering all the women that he allegedly drugged and raped. But again, they're only allowed to have the evidence present for that one woman, Andrea Constand.
Yeah, I just think.
Based on our last conversation, does Cosby ever get favor in the public side
Nope.
ever again?
Nope.
Never.
Too many women's lives
Never.
were ruined. Nope. Bye, Cosby. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Oprah is on the cover
Which
of...
is crazy to say, by the way.
Yeah.
Who would have thought 5 years ago we'd be having this conversation?
Yeah, it's surprising. Oprah, and disappointing. Oprah is on the cover of British Vogue right now. And in the article, the 64-year-old mogul says her guilty pleasure is doing nothing. She says she loves to just sit on the porch of her home. Of course, Oprah lives in this $90 million mansion in California, but still, Oprah is used to working hard. Now, get this. She says she never once took a sick day in the 25 years of the Oprah Winfrey Show, no matter how sick she was. That just shows what a girl boss she is. She really is dedicated to her brand, to her show, to everything she does. I mean, she started a network, a magazine. She does it all.
Yeah, and what's interesting is she said, I couldn't miss a day because I know women and men were getting their mani-pedis, we're telling their friends, we're taking babysitters, we're flying in. So a sick Oprah would be better than no Oprah. And I think that's an incredible feat that she didn't miss a day for sickness. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'll say this. I didn't. You don't realize how famous some people are. I worked side by side with Shaq for 2 years writing on his TV show, and I realized the public pressure that it is when somebody sees you. Every day that somebody sees you, it's the best day of their life.
Yeah.
So that means you can't have the stomach flu. You can't have just heard that Sophie's sick and you're rushing to the hospital, because that person's going to go back on Facebook and be like, Sam Shaka was rude to me at the mall. You have no idea the pressure. And if you're a group of women that have been watching Oprah for 10 years, you save up for a year.
That's the
You guys
day.
go to Chicago, you get your nails done, you stay at the Four Seasons, you're like, and Oprah's not there that day, you'll never forget that. And I think Oprah felt that
lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So
I love her work ethic, though, and I think about, we had the story about DJ Khaled not showing up for his performance. This woman showing up to work every single day, and she's the most famous woman in the world. You got to respect her work ethic.
Is that fair, though? Is that fair to her? Is that fair to Shaquille O'Neal? Like, she deserves to have a day off. I get the responsibility that she felt and the pressure, but I also think that we need to also lend some courtesy to the people that have millions of fans. We did it to Gaga. Gaga literally worked herself down into the ground to where she was hospitalized. She's not the first person that has had the limelight almost sabotage them and hurt them.
I couldn't imagine.
And that's why she likes to sit on her porch. I think she just needs to relax.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Erica Cobb, what's coming up next on DBL?
Well, we're bringing you incredible savings on products like this that you will love. This teeth whitening system, normally as high as $300, but we're practically giving it away. Also ahead, this man was busted for naked yoga at the gym. You won't believe his excuse. And next, we chat with twin sisters, both running for office on different sides of the aisle. What we all can learn from them during these polarizing times. Right after this.
Oh, it is? So we'll we'll go a little bit over it, but as Sam said, we're going to be talking about it because we all have very different points of view.
Well, it's in the market that we're in.
Exactly. So 2 moms were kicked out of a pool, basically asked to leave because they were breastfeeding. Now it is legal in Minnesota and Minneapolis.
It's legal in all 50
hang on. They weren't asked to leave. They were asked to
cover up.
To cover up or to go to a different area.
Or to go to the locker room.
Yeah, they were not. Yeah, they were not kicked out of the pool.
Right. So they asked them, and they said no.
Correct.
They asked again. They said no. They decided to leave the pool, and a police officer was called to the scene, and police said that they would have to basically leave. So at this point, we have an open discussion about whether or not you should respectfully cover up or not. And
why did the police officer say they'd have to leave?
Okay.
If it's
Well, he said, the quote I have, the
Okay,
cop said,
cool.
I understand
Wait,
about the law.
I would hold your thoughts. We're going to
All
do
right.
it in the next block.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
guys. We want to hold our thoughts. We're going to do it in the fifth host. I think we're going to lead with just one of the comments and then dive in.
all right.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about something else real quick. I talked about working with Shaq. Who have you worked with that's so famous?
Dr. Drew was that way.
That you almost felt sorry for
Dr.
them.
Drew.
I heard he's a workaholic.
He's a workaholic. And Dr. Drew loves what he does. He also feels a sense of responsibility, especially because he has a practice and patience, like actual.
He's a real doctor.
Patience. He's a
not
real
like
medical
Dr.
doctor.
Dre. Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
And he was diagnosed with, I believe it was prostate cancer. He had cancer my second year of working with him. Really? He took off just enough time for the surgery. He came back within a matter of a few days. We'd shoot the show live, and before the show and after the show, he would have to lay down on a couch. He was so physically exhausted and in pain from the surgery he just had from his, I think it was
Would you guys make the argument that the kind of personality that has you wired to become Dr. Drew, where you're a TV personality, a real
radio
host, podcast,
a
that
lecturer.
same personality causes you to drive to yourself into almost
Yeah, I
exhaustion?
think it's almost like a Navy SEAL. You need to be type A and think you can always succeed at all points, and that can run you ragged. That can burn you
Great
out.
open story that I don't have time for. Maybe another break.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In a time of political divide in our country, we can all learn a lesson about putting our differences aside from these sisters. They are identical twins, but opposite in their political beliefs. Take a look.
Today, when politics are dividing the country, identical twin sisters are showing us how to simultaneously love and disagree. Twins Monica Sparks and Jessica Ann Tyson are both running for public office in Michigan, but for opposing parties. Jessica is a Republican and Monica is a Democrat. Both sisters are running for county commissioner. They're running in different districts, so the twins won't go head-to-head in the polls. Their political beliefs are different, but these sisters insist they are not divided.
Ooh, political twins Jessica Ann Tyson and Monica Sparks join us now. All right, Jessica Ann, how is this political race impacting your relationship, and what will happen to your relationship if one of you wins and the other loses?
Well, it depends on which one wins and which one loses. But it really has not affected our relationship in a negative way because we understand that each person has their own thoughts, and we respect the fact that she may not think the way that I think, but we have to be fair because her experiences have led her to her own decisions.
Amen. We do the same thing here in DBL. We all have diverse opinions, and I think just having that respectful discourse is what the country is missing. So, Monica, you are the Democrat. Jessica Ann, you're the Republican. Did you guys grow up debating politics?
You know, we were on the debate team growing up, but our mother never, ever lets us argue. Of course, we won't tell her that we do, but we just don't debate and argue. We know that the left wing and the right wing belong to the same bird.
What can we as a country learn from your relationship? We need it.
We can learn that our beautiful democracy that we celebrate here in America needs to work on an everyday basis for everybody. I have the right to my opinion, and she has the right to her opinion, but how do we move the needle forward for the American citizens?
Monica and Jessica Ann, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you both the best of luck and look forward to following your races.
We love you, Daily Blast. Thank you. Thanks, Daily Blast.
What an incredible example. I mean, I would liken it to our show. We all have very different opinions here. Bo, you have a very different political opinion than myself or Tori. And you can't push the needle forward, as they said, without somehow having a discussion, a respectful one at that.
Well, that's what once it devolves into name calling, everybody stops listening. So if you start just talking policy and where you're from and why you think like that, I think we can
Zero
come
tolerance for personal attacks. Just skip them.
I love that. Zero tolerance.
Left wing, right wing?
Same bird.
Same bird.
Amen.
I loved it.
Yes. All right. We can't get enough of our DBL Deal Blast products. Erica Cobb shows us some incredible bargains coming in hot.
That's right, Sam. We have some amazing deals on some of the hottest products you can get right now, thanks to our friends at morningsave.com. Looking for a fashionable watch? Get this Martian MVP Notifier smartwatch. It shows you when you get calls and texts while tracking your steps and calories. It's normally as high as $215, but today you can get it for 89% off. That's $24 at morningsave.com. Need more zen in your life? Of course you do. Get it with this Pure Daily Care Aromatherapy Diffuser Essential Oil gift set. It comes with 6 pure essential oils like lavender and tea tree oil. This diffuser is normally as high as $199, but our morningsave.com deal, it's just $39. That's an 80% savings. Again, go to morningsave.com to take advantage of the savings. And stick around because we'll have even more deals later in the show.
They are good deals.
They are so good.
Still ahead of Daily Blast Live, a boyfriend dumps his girlfriend not for another woman, but for video games. Is this any different than choosing career over love? And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. Should women cover up when they breastfeed in public? Your comments are coming up next.
So, okay, so when OWN was starting, I was called in to they were doing something called Your Own Show. And
I did that too.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
so I made it to the final 10.
I did not make it to the final 10. I don't even know how close I got.
Pieces of me were yes. So I made it to the final 10, and here's what happened. So Mark Burnett was producing it. And so
perfect.
I had all these notes of like what my show was going to be. It was going to be called The Bo Show, and it's going to be like a hybrid, like a little bit of late night, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of interviewing celebrities. So I have all my cards. The PA who was about to send me into Mark Burnett said, "You're not going to need those." I said, "Why won't I need them?" He said, "You just either have it or you don't." So I go in. I'm like, I'm confused now. What is this? So I give my spiel, and they're like, "Well, why would people that are not in the South be interested in your show?" Or you were in Cosmopolitan. What would Jesus think about that? I'm going, these are all gotcha questions. I don't know why, and they were trying to get a rise out of me, and I didn't bite. So they sequester you to your room. They won't let you talk to anybody when you're having breakfast. Yeah, so they sequestered us. I see a quadriplegic guy.
Sorry.
At the
Chicago?
No, at LA, right by the airport, the Crown Plaza Hotel. So they sequestered all of us, so you couldn't talk to anybody. They just could sit in your room the whole time. So anyway, then we see all 10 of us line up, and they lined us up like a firing squad. And we go in there, and Mark Burnett, this is pre-Roma, I think.
That's right, Mark Burnett produced it.
He stands up on the couch and says, "Do you guys have any effing idea about Oprah Winfrey and her work ethic? Do you think she just comes into a show and doesn't know what the F she's doing? She prepares, she produces, and none of you have thought through your shows. And if I have to go back and scrap all 10 of you and start all over again, I'm going to do that."
Wow.
And I'm going,
that's really disrespectful.
Wait a minute, I've got all my cards here for my show.
That's so disrespectful.
But he did it because they were trying to get rises out
So
of me.
he literally was putting on a show.
Correct, for the show.
That's Mark Burnett for you.
That's Mark Burnett.
If you guys don't know, Mark Burnett's the producer of some of the most
Survivor,
The Amazing Race. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
And so then I go back to my room, and the guy comes and gives me a ticket and says, "Here's your ticket back home to Nashville." I said, "What's the deal? I didn't even get to talk about my show." He goes, "Yeah, BS casting, whatever. See you later."
Wow.
So I didn't get a chance.
Oh, man. Right now, 2 moms are planning on filing discrimination charges, all because they were breastfeeding at the Minnesota pool. They were first asked to cover up or move to a changing room, and when they refused, an employee asked them to leave. Later, a police officer confronted the 2 women. Here's what they say about it.
It's a mother's choice, a family's choice, how they choose to feed their child, and it's the law.
fellow moms staged a nurse-in recently to support the two women, and Minnesota law does allow a mother to breastfeed in any location, public or private. You have a lot to say about this. It's today's fifth host. Take it away, Sam Shocker.
Wow, we have so many comments, especially from our Care 11 viewers in Minnesota. We are listening to you. Tori, you want to read some of the comments?
For sure. Sherry writes, quote, I'm naturally a modest person anyway, but if I wasn't, I'd probably breastfeed openly. I certainly would never ask a mother to cover up while she's feeding, whether it was legal or not. And then we have Rosetta saying, I breastfed at a time when if I was in public, I had to cover up. We live in a time when people are uptight seeing a breastfeeding mother.
Well, as a breastfeeding mother, I've read a lot of the comments underneath the initial video, and I would say 80% of them were negative. And that made me really sad for our country, because I feel like we're more comfortable as a society embracing the sexualization of breasts rather than the actual natural function of breasts to nourish our children. And as someone that has felt ashamed, I don't know why, I guess that's just like the societal stigma.
Right.
I have felt ashamed where I cover up. And why should I feel like that I have to cover up? Why should these women feel like they have to cover up when they're just doing what they think is best for their child, which is what's best for their child?
In an ideal world, Sam, you're 100% right. We would not over-sexualize breasts and women. I think it's tragic what's going on, especially Hollywood culture, I think, promotes this and purports it. I don't like it. You're right. I mean, it's as natural as anything else is. The issue, I think, here for me is, number one, they weren't kicked out of the place. They were just asked to please cover up, which I think is a respectful way of handling it. Or go in the locker room. Or go in the locker room. But if you're being mindful, for instance, of other people that are around, and you have a, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old boy and doesn't understand exactly what's going on, who's never seen this, I think perhaps the request to cover that up is not
Isn't that
out
the
of line.
perfect opportunity to educate your child who's probably seen those same images on the internet, but in a sexualized nature, to say, this is what the function of breasts are? And what if that mother has multiples, okay? I only have one child, but if a mother of multiples, their kids are playing in the pool, she's balancing and juggling her 6-month-old, tears are in her eyes because she's probably overwhelmed and overtired. Why can't we have this mentality of how can I help you, instead of, oh God, what you're doing is gross and wrong. Go somewhere else and do it. When they have the legal right to do it, and it shouldn't be something that you feel ashamed of.
Perhaps fear, perhaps awkwardness, perhaps a lot of things. I totally get where you're coming from on this, and I think there should be an educational part of this. It's just, I know there's a little discomfort sometimes when you're next to someone and they're doing that. So.
It's just such an American thing. In Europe, you see breastfeeding and it's just more normalized, so I hope we get there.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your comments, especially the Care 11 comments in Minnesota, because we know that you guys are watching as we speak, and this happened right in the neck of your woods.
Interesting.
Coming up on DBL, Shark Week swims into its 30th year. We're showing you some of the biggest stars in sports. They're swimming with the sharks. But first, twin brothers find inspiration from an unlikely place. Football players who are twins, too. Their story next in Heart Threads.
Good.
Viewers out there, hi! We are in Minnesota right now on Care 11, and we know that this story took place in the neck of your woods. And let me read some of your comments. And I thought we had a really great conversation, because there are always two sides to every story, and I think the goal is to talk about it so then you can understand each person's point of view.
Do you think it's like your duty, Sam, to not cover up because you want to be someone that normalizes?
That's a great.
You want to be a pioneer.
I would
Right,
love
but she
to be
also
a
wants to be
pioneer,
just
but
a
I
mom,
also
like-
feel, I also feel awkward and
Right,
weird
right.
and judged, and I always cover up because I feel awkward, weird, and judged, and I just want to kind of disappear, so to
Right.
speak. But I wish I didn't feel that way. I wish I would just like, hey, everybody. What's that? Would what? I don't know if TV would censor it. When the baby latches, you don't see nipple anyways.
It's really
You
the
literally-
nipple
on,
that people
on
are concerned
TV,
about.
has it happened in reality TV? Have they had the block? Do we know that if
I
it's
don't
happened on any
know.
reality show?
On
'Cause that
Instagram-
would normalize it probably, perhaps too.
What's weird is Instagram will block out, suspend accounts that show childbirth and breastfeeding, yet you'll see like a really sexualized photo
With a
of
pasty
Kim
over the-
Kardashian where it's not blocked. So that's weird to me. I just think it just shows the
There's a double
puritanical
standard.
culture that we
It
live
is
in.
very American.
Here's some Care 11 comments. Christina Bloomquist, they do not need to be more discreet. maybe people need to stop staring while they simply feed their babies. You stare while a baby is bottle fed. Great comment.
Yeah.
Carrie Parker, if you don't want to see it, why don't you put a light cover over your head? Leslie
Light
Snure,
cover.
I don't care if you want to whip your tit out, but why the hell can't you be a little discreet about it? Burton Flitter, I am all for breastfeeding in public. It is natural, but I don't want a single woman to complain when I pull up a chair next to them and watch.
Excuse me?
That's weird, Burton.
Not okay.
No.
Not okay,
Weird
sir.
question.
Be respectful of
Yeah.
the fact that she's trying to feed and
what she's
nourish
trying
her
to do
child.
here. That's
and then her
ridiculous.
other child's in the pool. Like, believe me, we're not, at least I can only speak for myself and 99% of mothers out there. We're not like bouncing around being like,
yeah, are you whipping out your breast too?
breastfeeding is
Yeah.
difficult to begin with.
Yeah.
It really is. It takes a while for an infant and a mother to find that working relationship, so to speak. It took Sophie like 6 weeks to finally learn how to latch. I had to hire a lactation consultant. It was very stressful. Being in public only added another stressor. All I wanted to do was nourish my child who is screaming and kicking to be fed but doesn't know how to latch. It's tough as it is. I don't need some bozo wanting to sit down and watch.
Is that a B-E-A-U-Z-O?
Not you, not
no,
you,
quick
not
story
you.
though. On an airplane, there was a woman next to me, and I heard a very strange noise coming next to me, and she was humping, but she put a cloth over her shoulder. It is a public place. It is on an airplane. I thought that was respectful because she's being conscious of who's around her.
And she
Even though she's
probably...
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today's Heart Threads is all about inspiration. Twin boys turn to twin pro football players for guidance. Watch this. These twins got some inspiration from twin NFL players. 6-year-old Royce and Kyan Moore are twin brothers and best friends.
Royce and Cayenne, Cayenne and Royce, they are so identical, like I say, but yet so different.
Kyan wants to be an art teacher, while Royce wants to be a football player. The twins have another difference that few see: a prosthetic leg. Royce was born with a condition that resulted in his leg being amputated, but it hasn't slowed him down. Twin NFL players Shaquem and Shaquille Griffin are heroes to Royce and Kyan. Shaquem is the first one-handed player to make the NFL. With some help, Shaquem and Shaquille gave their young fans some advice.
You know, sometimes you got to make many sacrifices for your brother, but as long as you stay by each other, he's always going to be there. And, you know, hopefully one day we can be big fans of you guys, man.
It's advice that Royce and Kyan plan to follow.
Nobody can stop me and my brother from doing nothing.
Incredible.
I have a young cousin whose leg was amputated actually because he got hit by a driver at Walmart.
Oh my
And he went through the whole process of growing up and aging and playing sports with that prosthetic. So this was a great story for me.
Wow, so close to home. If
Yeah.
you're leaving us right now, you can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
A boyfriend dumps his girlfriend. For video games? Has gaming mania gone too far? Police bust a man for nude yoga in a public gym. We're sharing our workout horror stories. And Star Trek star Zachary Quinto swings by.
Aliens have visited us before.
We get the scoop on the next installment of the hit franchise, coming up when DBL continues. Also, you guys all remember our famous segment, Dusty Old Ancient Stuff with Tori and Lex. Well, you guys remember a while ago, we brought you a story about the largest sarcophagus ever found in Alexandria, Egypt. It's about a 30-ton sealed black sarcophagus. So then we went over it because they dug up the sarcophagus. Then Lex and I were there when we weren't there, but they opened the sarcophagus. Three skeletons are found within the sarcophagus. We're trying to find out who they are. Really, people want to know.
They think they're warriors.
Some kind of warrior. Right now, unfortunately, there's a sewage leak where the sarcophagus was. So there's a liquid, kind of a drainage slush. Now there's a petition for people to drink the liquid from the sarcophagus for like anti-curse magic. Thoughts? I think the answer is
gross.
Too gross for us to be talking about asking them?
No, never.
Well, not for 17,645 people.
Yeah, they're almost at 20,000 here. So let us know if you have any
We'll
weird.
have to read a little bit more if they're nominating a person to do it,
Or they just want someone to do it.
Who they're asking to do it.
Do you want to be the 17,646th person to sign up?
Right. Or do
if
you want
I'm just signing it and it's going to save me from being cursed.
If there's black magic or magic at all, is there something good for that?
Am I drinking it?
Yes.
No, I'm not.
Well, would you, if you were paid, let's say, Mega Millions money, would you do that?
Yup. Oh yeah, I would do a
Oh.
lot.
Okay, now we're changing
I
our
would do
tune.
things for a lot less.
So $20, she would do it. All right.
Not 20. Definitely not 20.
No,
more
not
than 20.
Kelly, why don't you talk about the debate you're having with Lex over
10 seconds.
Is it caramel or caramel? I can't even say it. Caramel or caramel? Tell us, DBL Nation. Which do you say?
3, 2.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. We are a live show and we have a lot to get to, so let's get right into it. A video of a 10-year-old boy being pinned to the ground by police in Athens, Georgia is going viral. The child's father was under arrest in a domestic disturbance, and the boy became distraught and emotional. The police took him to the ground but did not arrest or cuff him. Now, in response to the now viral clip, the police have released their body cam footage. Let's take a look.
That's not what happened. That's not what his...
Stop now!
Don't do that. Don't. Where am I, officer?
Okay.
Don't you do that. Stop. Stop.
Man, let him go.
We're back off. Back off. Back up. Stop.
Okay.
That's such...
It's tough to look at, but I watched the entire video, and the entire time I was watching this, well before this, I mean, this is almost a 7-minute video, 7 or 8 minute video. I was like, why is this kid still outside? This was a fairly calm exchange of the father was not fighting his arrest.
The police officer was calm.
Everybody
initially.
was calm. What people forgot about is that there is a 7-year-old out there being traumatized. And as a black man, I know it looks crazy for me to sit on TV and defend the police. I'm not defending the police. I'm just saying they handled the situation as best they could. This isn't a Tamir Rice situation where they completely their behavior was abhorrent and resulted in a young man's death.
I know. I agree that
and
it's
just
not
a quick correction. He's 10.
He's 10. I agree it's not a Tamir Rice situation, but I do think when police are there to de-escalate, the boy was obviously upset. He ran to his father. At some point, you hear someone screaming, how could you do this to a child? 2 police officers, 2 grown men, one with a knee in the back. They weren't cuffing him, but at some point he's saying, I'm sorry, sir, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. At some point, you don't understand that you're escalating the situation only further and further traumatizing the child. It was a domestic violence call. It's already, as you said, traumatizing. How is this at all helping the situation?
But may I take Al's position here and his logic, which is where are the parents on this? You have 15 people outside right now,
all adults.
And no one is looking at this 10-year-old who's clearly upset. I mean, you look at the blame game here. I'm going, just in this situation, why have you allowed this child to even watch his father's arrest? The father in the video says, calm down. There's multiple calls for people to say, please calm down. And the child just probably was extremely upset, and then he lunges at the officer. I think they did the best they could.
It's a tough situation. I see where you're going with this, Tori. I'm all about de-escalation, but in this situation, I have to side with you two. You hear the police officer very calm talking to the father. The child comes barricading in, storming the police officer. Who knows how that could have escalated, especially with the other adults around. It's really tough to Monday morning quarterback this.
Right.
Yeah, and we got to give the police the benefit of the doubt.
And I want this to be a teachable moment, and then I would like to see training where that's the first thing that the police officers do is
make sure the child is.
Usually it is back off from the situation, right?
That's what I like to see.
All right. Well, great discussion, guys. Yeah. Great discussion. Chime in, DBL Nation. We do want to hear from you. All right, switching gears. Guess what it is? It's Shark Week. Tori's got her little fin on her head, and we couldn't be more excited as the Discovery Channel event hits its 30th anniversary. And swimming with the sharks this year are some big names. Rob
Gronkowski.
Okay, Lindsey Vonn and Aaron Rodgers. Earlier today, we talked to Shark After Dark host Julian McCullough about what's new this year for Shark Week. Check it out.
We added some new bells and whistles. My favorite one, first of all, Bob the Shark is back. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bob the Shark, but he's a pun-loving shark suit, and he's a lot of fun. But we also have a mechanical bull shark that's like a real mechanical bull that our guests are riding. And last night, Lindsey Vonn rode it for 19 seconds. It was pretty awesome.
Yes, and I do want to say when we spoke with him, he also talked about how the show really takes the conservation and preservation of the sharks very seriously, and education of sharks, because we are seeing more people kill sharks. And the thing is, when people kill sharks, it's because it's somehow, we don't advocate against it, because a lot of people see sharks as scary, villainous beings when they are beings.
Yeah, I think, and sharks are, it's very rare to be attacked by a shark, let's be honest.
Have you swam with sharks? I think
I have swam with sharks. There's some pictures here if you guys want to take a look. So that's me getting into the shark cage.
You got in a shark cage?
Yes, and there's no top. That's me diving in.
How old are you?
I was 21. No, I was like 25, I think. Wow. And I'm getting into the shark pool. There was 0 sharks to be found, which is actually, in your point, they said it's harder and harder to find the sharks because so many sharks are being killed. But I was ready to see one. I just didn't see one.
Wow. Would either of you ever swim with sharks?
Oh, I have.
You have?
Yeah, I did.
Where did you? In a cage?
In the ocean?
No, I wasn't in the ocean. I was in the.
Where?
I was in the biggest aquarium in the world.
I see.
The Atlanta Sea Aquarium.
You were in an aquarium?
It was a fish tank.
It was a gigantic aquarium.
That's not swimming with
swam with
sharks.
It's called swimming. It's called swimming with the giants.
That's like bowling with bumpers on.
It's not. At least I saw a shark. This is caged water.
It's true.
No.
I saw real sharks.
No. Would you ever swim with sharks?
The sequel of Sharknado is the closest I will go to a shark.
Okay. All right, journalist Kaylee Dre is speaking out. She got fired as a bridesmaid, and, well, she's had it. So why'd she get fired? First, the bride got mad that she didn't write a Facebook post thanking her for making her a bridesmaid. Then she refused to skip work to go dress shopping on a weekday, even after realizing she'd have to save up 4 months to afford her bridesmaid dress, travel to the destination wedding, and even pay for her dinner at the nuptials. Oh, and the final straw, Tori? The final straw, she didn't manage to hit her target bridesmaid weight.
No!
So before we discuss, DBL Nation, what's your take on wedding party duty? Is it fun or is it a nightmare? This sounds like a nightmare. I would have quit, not have been fired.
I would have quit and also lost her as a friend.
Right.
What a terrible friend. Just so you know, when you ask someone to be a bridesmaid, you think it's nice and it's the bride, it's always lovely. The person on the other end is like, oh, great. Now I have to buy this and this and this and this and travel. It's a fakakta situation you don't want to get into. But to do this and to have a target weight, who's ever heard of this?
I mean, well, let's find out what the weight was. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I feel like this is not things that guys deal with.
No.
Our grooms, like, it's usually somebody's brother that calls you a week before, like, hey, I forgot.
You have a bow tie?
I don't know why it's such
party?
a punishment for women. The fact that you guys have to buy a different dress, you usually have to fly to a different city.
Hair and makeup, mani-pedi.
You never wear that dress again.
Ever.
I'm surprised there hasn't been some new innovation where you guys figure out a way around this, because it's like real punishment.
It is.
And financially, some people, even if you want to go to your best friend's wedding or a good friend's wedding, maybe financially you cannot do it.
A to the men, honey. A to the men. This whole discussion makes me want to get a shot of tequila. You too, Tori?
I feel like, yeah, especially today for some reason.
You know why?
Why?
Hey, everybody, grab that salt and cut those limes. It's National Tequila Day. Brett Morris has some tequila deals coming in, caliente.
Oh.
Thanks, Sam. That means hot, in case you guys didn't know. A great transition. So there are a lot of deals out there. First, Chili's is offering $5 margaritas today. 3 different flavors to go perfectly with those baby back ribs or fajitas. Next, Hop Dottie Burger Bar. They've got $5 classic frozen margaritas and $2 little margaritas. Not bad at all. And finally, On the Border is getting in on the tequila fun. They're also offering $2 classic margs. If you really want to throw caution to the wind, tequila shots start at $3. Let's not forget, it's also Taco Tuesday. How perfect. So DBL Nation, where are you going to go for National Tequila Day?
Brett, doing the
tequila.
I thought that was a Pee Wee Herman.
It is. Okay. I just want to mention that our own DBL Nation, they said only 10% of them said it is an honor to be a bridesmaid. Just 10%.
See?
Yep.
Oh.
It is. It's a pain in the ass.
Yep. All right, now it's time for our top feel-good stories of the day. Erica Cobb, you have all the videos that are making DBL Nation smile.
That's right. Prince Harry and Elton John are teaming up to end AIDS once and for all. The pair announced their new partnership today in Amsterdam at the International AIDS Conference. Watch what they had to say.
I'm honored to be sharing the stage with someone who has always put people at the center of his work, Sir Elton John.
If we want to win this fight,
If we want to end AIDS once and for all, we must make men part of the solution.
Of course, fighting AIDS is a cause that was near and dear to Princess Diana's heart. We're loving this sweet video out of Tallahassee. Police officer Tony Carlson saw a homeless man trying to shave outside of a gas station. He said he was prepping for a job interview at a local fast food chain, and he was told he had to show up clean shaven. So Tony stepped in and helped him out so he can have a shot at getting back on his feet. Great work, Officer Tony. And an act of selflessness from the rescued Thai boys. Today, they were ordained as Buddhist monks to show their gratitude and to remember the hero diver who died trying to rescue them. And a very happy second birthday to Lucas. He's the first Gerber baby with Down syndrome, and he couldn't be happier to celebrate today. Don't miss our DBL Deal Blast. We're offering a smartwatch for an incredible price. Stick around to take advantage of the savings. We're shining the DBL spotlight on young girls, or a young girl who turned being bullied into a career opportunity. She is truly inspirational, and her story is coming up. But first, chatting with the stars, actor Zachary Quinto talks his new show and the future of Star Trek. Don't miss it.
Hey everyone, Brooke, Brooke, smile for me. Look how white your teeth are.
They're not that white.
Oh, sorry, sorry. Yes, they are. Tell me what's going on.
So this is trending right now. Do you think that fizzy water or sparkling water is bad for your teeth?
So I thought it would be good, and this sounds really stupid. I'm not Al with a master's in chemistry, but the bubbles would like pop out stuff.
Oh, weird.
I guess so. No, that's not right.
Well, right now they're saying, experts are saying that the CO2 in it creates carbonic acid, which is what wears at your enamel. So they are saying that sparkling water isn't as safe, obviously, as regular water, of course. So I know you have something that might help when you do need an enamel boost.
When you need an enamel boost, you go to Nuovo Aglow, which is super exciting. Guys, it's a cutting-edge LED technology. It's powered by 16, if you can open that up for me, Brooke.
Yeah.
16 LEDs is one of the most innovative mouthpiece accelerator whitening systems in 2017. Now, what it is the lights go in here. It provides dental-grade whitening experience in the comfort of your own home on the go. It includes gel for 20 to 25 treatments, and right now it's usually $299. A little rich, right?
Yeah.
Why don't I give it to you for a 90% off discount?
Oh,
who wants it for $29? So I mean, we're like giving it away. So morningsave.com/dailyblastlive. So make sure you get over there and show us your receipt, and we can give some stuff away. What do you do? Do you want that? Al wants to do his teeth. All right, we're going over to Angelica.
We are?
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're not going over to Angelica.
It is Angelica.
Oh, well, we'll talk more about the Nuovo Glue. Well, it is.
I can pull it up.
Okay, cool. If you do have a picture of your receipt, Thomas Henry, I know you were purchasing some of you are writing in. Take a picture of you with it, send us into info@DailyBlastLive, and we will send someone prizes. That's how it goes.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today's Chatting with the Stars is my dream interview. I grew up watching Star Trek, and now I get to talk with the Zachary Quinto, who plays, of course, Spock in the series reboot. But right now, we're talking about his new show, In Search Of, on the History Channel. Here we go.
I'm drawn to the unknown, the otherworldly, and those experiences so beyond belief, they call everything into question. I'm exploring some of the most enduring mysteries that continue to haunt mankind in search of the truth, wherever it leads me.
Zachary Quinto, thank you so much for joining us on Daily Blast Live. You host and are executive producer for the In Search Of series. So tell us about it, and what are we in search of?
Well, we are in search of unknown mysteries and phenomena from around the world and beyond. It's based on a show that was on in the late 70s and the early 80s, hosted by my dear friend, the late, great Leonard Nimoy.
May he rest.
So I am carrying the mantle further, and then we carry it off into new directions and explore things like artificial intelligence or mind control, life after death, superhumans, time travel. So there's a lot of experiences that we dive into, literally and figuratively.
Ooh, I like that. Dive into that. Well, as you said, the show is hosted by the one, the only Leonard Nimoy. Let's pour one out for our homie. You took over for the role of Spock. How does one step into those iconic Spockish shoes? How do you do that?
Well, I was really lucky to have Leonard as part of the process, you know, and we became incredibly close friends for the last decade of his life. And so there was a real connection between us. I feel like that was a part of that experience and a part of this one.
This is going to make me choke up, but my family is a Trekkie family, as I said. My mom has a chronic illness, and Star Trek was the one show, and still is, that soothes her, including you. The next film, Star Trek 4, will be directed by a woman, S.J. Clarkson. Tell me, are there any updates or scoops that you can spill that I can pass on to my mother?
Oh, I wish I had some info. You know, I think we're taking it in a new direction with SJ, who's amazing. I've worked with her before. A real milestone for the franchise. A film has never been directed by a woman before. The TV shows certainly have, but never a film. I don't know too much about the story, other than to say that I think it'll be a real adventure. We're all really excited to come back and make another movie, and it's always so gratifying to know how much it means to people in their lives, and you know how much it soothes people, like you said, and gives people hope. And there's such an inherent faith in humanity in the Star Trek universe. So please tell your mom that you know, I send her a lot of good wishes and wish her the best and thank her for, you know, being such a fan of the world, because we love when we can bring comfort to people. That's so important, and I'm sorry to hear she's going through that, but sending her a lot of good love.
That means a lot. Thank you. We watched our whole childhood. Gene Roddenberry is my godfather in my head. Thank you so much, Zachary Quinto. And I've waited my whole life to say this. Live long. Where's the camera?
Live long and prosper.
Thank you
so much. Wait, what did you say? Live long and what?
And prosper.
Oh, you did say it. Okay, good. I was right there with you. Live long and prosper. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I always remember this interview. Thanks a lot.
Great. Thank you. Take care.
Oh my gosh, Tori.
Honey.
Can you speak to why you just got so emotional?
Yeah, it's weird when you see someone you love in pain, and the only thing that soothes them is certain show or music or a painting or art, and suddenly you were working in an ice cream store and now you're speaking to Spock, and Spock is speaking to your mom? That's a pretty special thing. My mom's phone is, "Hi, this is Judy. Please leave a message. Live long and prosper." That's awesome. So it was a really, Spock spoke to me, and it spoke to her, and that was the best.
Wow. Unbelievable.
We love Judy on this
We love Judy.
Love you, Judy. Love you, Tori.
Thank you.
We are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at this moment.
Yeah, that was great, Tori. Now, you only have a few hours left to buy Mega Millions tickets and score one of the biggest jackpots ever. Take a look. The jackpot is now up to $522 million for tonight's drawing. That's a cash option of $308 million. So DBL Nation, tell us, are you buying a ticket for tonight's drawings? Are you willing to share with us? Now tell us using the hashtag DBLTake.
Wow. That's a lot of money. All right, we've got even more DBL Deal Blast savings. Brett has the details, and they are coming in hot.
That's right, Sam. We have some amazing deals on some of the hottest products you can get now, thanks to our friends at morningsave.com. First, the Nuova Glow 16 LED teeth whitening system. It comes with gel for 20 to 25 treatments, and it's normally as high as $299. But thanks to our friends at Morning Save, you can get it for just $29. That's a 90% savings. You cannot beat that. Next, the Motorola Focus HD Wi-Fi camera. The smart tags sense movement on windows and doors. It also includes free 24-hour recording. It's normally as much as $110, but our friends at MorningSave hooked it up, and you can get it for just $59. Okay, that's a steal. Again, go to morningsave.com right now to take advantage of the savings.
All right, thank you so much, Brett. You have that camera.
We just bought that, camera to see what our dog does because he keeps getting into the trash.
Oh!
We should have spy on you, Leo.
Coming up on BBL, Erica Cobb speaks to a young girl who was badly bullied for the color of her skin, but turned the hateful words into a business opportunity. She even has the support of some very big celebrities. You do not want to miss this interview coming up next.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Ready? Yes. All right, guys, we are here with Angelica, and I actually have asked this question more times in the last couple of years. How come J-Lo looks like she's going backwards in aging? You know what I mean? She's 48.
Right. So she said in a recent interview, she admitted that it's not all age, it's in your mind.
Which is it in my mind that I need 8 Spanx?
Okay. Anyways, but the truth is, she said she guzzles a lot of water every day and gets a lot of facials. So she said the key to looking young is to drink a lot of water, stay hydrated, and get facials.
I actually haven't had, I think, more than half a bottle of water today, so that's a really good point. What we have on morningsave.com, as you can see, this is her without makeup with A-Rod, and she's still like just so gorgeous. She's 48 years old. We have a very exciting microdermabrasion from Trophy Skin, guys. If you don't know what microdermabrasion is, it really is almost like a peel or an exfoliator, and what it is, it gets rid of your age spots, it gets rid of wrinkles. It's that first part of your epidermis, which just means skin, and you're microdermabrasing it off. So you're getting that next layer of baby, tushy, soft skin. We have an amazing deal from Trophy Skin. It's a microdermabrasion. Normally it's like $100. Wow. And that's a lot, even for J-Lo. Don't pretend to say. But we can give it to you. Let's do more than half off, 51% off. Let's give it $49. Oh my gosh! What? So it's easy to use. It looks just like this, guys. It's small. It's not enormous. You don't have to do a professional to get great results. It's 5 minutes, and you get back that smooth, glowing. We call it the J-Lo skin. The J-Lo skin. So it gets rid of acne scars. I don't know if you guys know, I have acne scars. It's by your chin, and then they never go away. So it's like, why not microdermabrase them away? So again, morningsave. Good one! That was great. So go to morningsave.com, I'm jealous, /Daily Blast Live. That was so good. To pick up your microdermabrasion. That was good.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today we are shining the DBL spotlight on a girl who is making money moves on the very thing bullies used to tease her about, her dark skin. Now she's gone from bullied to boss.
This tweet started a revolution. Taylor Pollard's beautiful little sister was being bullied because of her dark skin. The tweet went viral and the responses blew up. The sisters channeled the experience into a business, and the clothing line, Flexin' in My Complexion, was born. Soon, Hollywood royalty like Lupita Nyong'o took notice, and Nike came calling. The little girl, who was once bullied for her looks, is now a model and a boss.
Sisters Taylor and Karis join us now. Welcome, ladies, and thank you so much for being with us. Now, Taylor, I want to start with you. Hashtag flexin' in my complexion is trending. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, you're pretty for a black girl. I've heard that so many times growing up. How do you think flexin' in my complexion is changing what we think is beautiful?
You know, you can be pretty regardless of what your skin tone is, and you just need to appreciate other skin tones and, you know, love yourself as well.
Now, Karis, let me ask you, how did you feel when you were bullied about your dark complexion, and how do you feel now that you're a boss business owner?
Well, when I was getting bullied, I didn't feel comfortable myself, especially in my skin color, and they will always mess me for my dark complexion. But now that I'm a boss woman, I'm like, look at me now, bullies, because I own my clothing line called Flexin' in My Complexion.
Karis, what was it like to do the Nike photo shoot?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be a Nike model. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. And yes, you are a Nike model. Now, Taylor, what does the support from celebrities mean to your business, and what's next?
Well, honestly, it's so shocking that celebrities like Lupita, Alicia Keys have supported Karis, even Snoop Dogg too. Because, you know, it's always good to know that you have support from people who are really like up there, so it lets us know that we're doing something right.
What would you like to say to other girls who are being teased about their skin color?
I would tell them that you are gorgeous. It doesn't matter what other people think about you at all. It's what you think about yourself, and you shouldn't let them bring you down at all.
Amen, little sis. Taylor and Karis, thank you for joining us and letting the world know that beauty comes in all shades and colors. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks, Erica. What a girl boss. We'll be right back.
From the digital team here with Bo, and we were just talking. Bo had ordered this camera from Morning Safe.
Yeah, we're just setting it up because our dog Leo gets into trash while we're gone, and we want to know when he's doing it. And I think you can talk back on this too, so you can tell him stop.
That's interesting. It's like
yeah,
training
no, it's
from
great.
work.
So we can stop him from doing it. So,
training.
and this is going to one lucky DBL.
That's
fan,
right, guys. So if you purchased any of the amazing deals this week on our Morning Safe page, simply click a photo of you with your computer and a picture of the receipt, the email receipt, or just forward the email receipt that they send you that said, you know, confirmed your purchase. Send it to info@dailyblastlive.com and you will be eligible. You might win this camera. We might just send it right off to you as an extra bonus. So it's a free gift for you, or if you already ordered the camera, it's one that you can give away to a friend.
Gift, yeah, absolutely. It's great because you can keep track of motion. It's got motion activation in it. It's actually pretty cool. It's HD. It's got a pretty long SD card in it too, so it's a pretty good gift.
And the most amazing thing about these deals, which are huge, 80-90% off, is they're only available for a limited time. So once we run out, we run out. So we've already sold out, I think, of the hefty storage containers. Those went like day one. And a lot of you guys are emailing us your receipts. So, you know, now's the time to possibly double your purchase. You know, if you order now or in the next hour, send in the receipt and then you can win an extra prize.
And you can spy on pets.
Spying on pets. Who doesn't like to be a pet lawyer?
I just want to know what he does all day.
I think it's great for a baby too. It's like, hey baby, get out of the garbage. Because, you know, that's why I don't have a baby. I would leave it alone and put a camera
we can spy on Bert.
You know, exactly. All right, guys. So like I said, take a picture of the receipt and send it in to us. You could win. All right, bye.
We love sharing your comments. I want to share, we got a lot of comments in regard to your interview, Tori. This one struck me. Shirley DeBose Taft on YouTube said, "You're killing me, Tori. God love you and your mom. Now you must video your mom watching that interview so we can all have a complete full circle meltdown. I love you and your mom."
Oh, yes.
So
Tomorrow?
Shirley, that is so exciting. I will definitely videotape my mom and my dad and my sister because we all watched it together. That's so sweet, Shirley.
We love you.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, we love her.
Now I'm gonna cry.
Guys, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Shirley. It means a lot.
These are the two crazy blondes.
Tori and Sam here with two crazy blondes.
We're gonna learn the Kalimatinos dance,
which is a Greek traditional dance mixed in with some, of course, Mamma Mia moves, because we love us some Mamma Mia.
What?
Hoppa! In this dance that you're about to teach us, people will bust a move with us, knowing what we're doing?
Absolutely.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's do that one more time.
One. Oh, yeah, I'm good. We're good.
1, this way. 2.
You're doing great.
3.
Doing great.
4.
That's beautiful.
Tori, you're really good at this.
Well, let's see me try it and practice. Really do it.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
You guys got
it. Woo!
Tori, grab your hanky.
Sorry, my hanky. Sorry, here we go.
Now you turn.
Yeah, I do. This way. That's where I was thinking.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Which dance moves are from Mamma Mia? Oh, this part? Okay.
This one.
Oh, that's Mamma Mia. Oh, Mamma Mia!
All right, we are here to perform the
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, July 24th. We are a live show with a lot to get to, so let's get started. Speaking of live, Kelly Schubert, we have a breaking news fast blast.
Yep, I do have breaking news, and this is just into the Daily Blast Live studio within the last 5 minutes. TMZ reports singer Demi Lovato has just been rushed to the hospital. Law enforcement tells TMZ she suffered what appears to be a heroin overdose. She's reportedly being treated at the hospital right now, but no other information is being released. I'll, of course, update you as soon as I know more.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you, Kelly. Again, this is allegedly right now. We don't know that's for sure why she went to the hospital.
Right,
you know,
I mean, and she's had, and we don't know, of course, but she's had problems with addiction before and eating disorders, so we hope she's okay, but this is very scary.
And she's been sober, right?
Right.
For the last several years.
Because she's been very transparent about her mental health issues and the fact that she was self-medicating, and the two things that you described is what she was doing. And she's been very open about that, so I hope that she's at least getting the help that she needs.
Oh, my word.
That's true.
Wow.
Heroin is rough. That's awful.
Wow. Absolutely. All right, guys, another story just in. Matt Lauer's first interview since being fired from the Today Show. Matt called into a New Zealand radio show talking about property he owns there. Locals are upset over access to the land, and we've got some of that interview. Take a listen.
I believe the groups that are behind this are in some ways, unfortunately, taking advantage of some difficult times I've been through over the past 6 months. And I think they see me as an easy mark.
Wow. Cue the violins, huh, Tori?
Yeah, let's do it. Poor Matt Lauer. Poor Matt Lauer is so sad. I did horrible things and now people don't like me. How could it be? How could it be?
Very, very well done, Tori Showman.
Yes.
All right, so are you kidding me, or do you think Matt has a point here?
I think this is a prime example for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. It's interesting that he brought up the fact that they were taking advantage of the moment or taking advantage of things.
Because that's what he literally did.
Was taking advantage of other people. I think the big thing that people have to realize when you're trying to launch a comeback, people want to kind of like have their acts of contrition and they want to say they're sorry, and then they want you on Monday morning to be like, oh, everything is cool. And everything isn't cool, especially when you've had a systematic amount of time, like what did this happen over the course of like 5-10 years? It's going to take some time.
Yeah, and in New Zealand there's a decency act, which means if you don't even like the person himself or herself, you don't have to give property to that person. So there is a point here in New Zealand. It's different than in America. In New Zealand, they check a person's
I guess it's like a hiking
behavior.
trail, or they're doing some construction on there, and he does allow access onto his property. You just have to go through the right avenues. I just want to mention that in case you're a Met fan.
I know that's New Zealand, this is America, but do you guys think that a person can claim discrimination for some wrong deed they did in their past you know, for basically refusing them service or any sort of thing that might be unfortunate to them now for something they did in their past. Is that fair? Can someone say, you're discriminating against me because of something you knew that I did 10 years ago? Is that fair?
Maybe by the law it's not, but in my eyes, I think I grow as a person and I could judge a certain character from what they have done and they continue to do. I for sure will judge them.
Yeah, Michael Vick complained and didn't apologize and do all those things. I'm not going to accept that apology. I have to see that there's some contrition there.
And then on the other side, I will also forgive. I know you're Michael Vick. I know a lot of people are angry with him. I think he did a lot to come back from what he did.
But if something were over the course of 10 years, I know that you've been stealing, I'm not leaving you with my purse.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
That's a great point.
So does Matt Lauer have a redemption story? Is it possible for an Erica Cobb
It starts
comeback?
with him.
I think everyone's deserving of the comeback they're willing to earn. I don't think that he's going to be back on television now.
Probably not.
All right, we are live. Brett Forrest with news at the moment. Brett.
Thank you, Jeff. A Pennsylvania state board has recommended that Bill Cosby be classified as a sexually violent predator. The label would require Cosby to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life and undergo counseling or treatment at least once a month. A Pennsylvania judge will hold a hearing to accept or reject the board's recommendation. 81-year-old Cosby was convicted in April on sexual assault charges.
Seems a little odd to me.
What seems odd?
That they're even
considering not.
Considering,
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't understand the legal ramifications here, but it
How
seems
is
like
that?
he's definitely a predator. I don't know how anyone can say that he wouldn't be a predator.
That seems very odd to me.
Well, it's odd to me that he's even home.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he
that's odd
posts
as well.
bail, but he should be in jail.
All right, another story happening right now. Ivanka Trump is shutting down her namesake fashion brand, saying, quote, her focus for the foreseeable future will be the work I am doing here in Washington. Ivanka left the company last year to work as a senior advisor in the White House. Sales of the clothing line had soared in 2016, but the company also faced a backlash. Some consumers boycotted stores that carried the line, prompting retailers like Nordstrom to even stop selling it completely. So, I mean, it could be a two-part here. I don't want to completely go that it's all Trump and that's where the sales are. Trust me, I believe that it contributes to some of that. But it's also, I think, maybe her place in the White House right now, she doesn't have enough time to focus on her company. Do I have a point?
I think you have a point. I don't know if it's the point, but it is a point. You know, when it really comes down to a company, it's about dollars and cents. Your consumers, regardless of what politics you believe in, are really what's dictating your growth or your demise. Clearly, she didn't have the dollars to back it up. That's the end of that story.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard, but I've been in Nordstrom's Rack or Goodwill, and they'll say, oh, this is so cute. Oh, it's Ivanka Trump. Because she is, as SNL said, somewhat complicit. People feel she has an agenda. She's part of, there's an office in the White House for her. So if you go against the administration currently, then you go, as a consumer, that's your way of not buying into that. And that's your power as a consumer.
And contrary to that, there are a lot of people in 2016 who loved Trump, and so they bought her products, too.
Absolutely.
I think there's been a lot of kerfuffle about the Trumps divesting themselves of their businesses, and probably deservedly so. When you are that brand, though, and I hate this because Ivanka, I think, is a fashion icon. I think she's also a great example for young female entrepreneurs. I think when you are Ivanka Trump and that is your product and you can't control it anymore, I think you have to divest, and if it falls, it falls.
I agree. All right. Let's try to get this last story in. Oprah is on the cover of British Vogue right now, and in the article, the 64-year-old mogul says her guilty pleasure is doing nothing. Mine too.
Yeah.
She says she loves to just sit on the porch of her home. Of course, Oprah lives in this $90 million mansion in California. Where's the porch?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
But still, Oprah is used to hard work. She says she never once took a sick day in the 25 years of the Oprah Winfrey Show, no matter how sick she was. And I think that's just a testament to who she is. You put in the hard work, you're going to get results. Maybe not $90 million home results, but you're going to get some results.
Well, you do hope.
Yes, yeah.
One can hope. One can hope. Yeah, she said she would just think about all the women and men out there that had gotten a babysitter, gotten a mani-pedi, gotten new clothes, got an airplane ticket, told their friends it's the biggest day of their life, and Oprah has strep throat. I mean, that's the responsibility she carries.
I understand being on the other side of that because I took my mom to an Oprah Winfrey show, and it was supposed to be Caesar the dog whisperer.
Oh, I love him.
But somehow it got messed up, and I ended up showing up at the time that the next taping was, so we weren't on the list.
Oh my
and my mom made it seem like it wasn't a big deal. The moment that I told her that we may not be able to go in, she went crazy. Like in a way I have never seen from a mother. Can't you call somebody? What can you do? Oh my gosh, watch. So we finally got in, and it was with Kanye West.
And just to be clear here, Oprah took the summers off. DBL is live all year round.
Booyah!
Sam Shocker, what's coming up on Daily Blast Live?
Well, we are bringing you incredible savings on products that you love, like this teeth whitening system. Yes, normally as high as $300, but we're practically giving it away. Also ahead, this man was busted for naked yoga at the gym. You won't believe his excuse. And next we chat with twin sisters, both running for office on different sides of the aisle. What we all can learn from them during these polarizing times right after this.
Hey guys, so we're going to talk a little bit more about Demi Lovato. First of all, this breaks my heart. As someone that's very close to addiction, as someone that's interviewed Demi Lovato, has met her a number of times, I only can hope and pray that she can come out of this and be better and stronger than ever. So I think we all should be sending our empathy and prayers to her. In March, Lovato marked her 6th year of sobriety, but continued to struggle with her addiction. As if you know, if you're someone that's familiar with addiction, if you've gone Al-Anon, you know it's a daily struggle. And in October 2017, the documentary The Confident Singer admitted she had used drugs while promoting a sober lifestyle back in 2012. She's also been very open about her mental health issues, bipolar disorder. This is someone that used to have to self-medicate to deal with her bipolar disorder. I also want to talk about some of the comments.
You can stand up.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So we have Yvette at Love Always Scores, praying for you, Demi Lovato. Let's see some more on our tag. This is all powered by Tag Board. Ashley Elizabeth, I'm praying for you and your family, Demi Lovato. There's a lot of support out there from Lovatics, they call her Lovatics, Demi Lovato fans, the prep guy. Keeping Demi Lovato in my prayers and hoping for a swift recovery. Again, nobody should, addiction, as Dr. Drew always says, let's treat above the neck as we would below the neck. So let's continue to send our prayers. Mocha Desire, heartbreaking, she's strong enough to recover. Please continue to send us your comments, and we will continue to throw to them.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In a time of political divide in our country, we can all learn a lesson about putting our differences aside from these sisters. They are identical twins, but opposite in their political beliefs. Take a look.
Today, when politics are dividing the country, identical twin sisters are showing us how to simultaneously love and disagree. Twins Monica Sparks and Jessica Ann Tyson are both running for public office in Michigan, but for opposing parties. Jessica is a Republican and Monica is a Democrat. Both sisters are running for county commissioner. They're running in different districts, so the twins won't go head-to-head in the polls. Their political beliefs are different, but these sisters insist they are not divided.
Woo! Political twins Jessica Ann Tyson and Monica Sparks join us now. All right, Jessica Ann, how is this political race impacting your relationship, and what will happen to your relationship if one of you wins and the other loses?
Well, it depends on which one wins and which one loses, but it really has not affected our relationship in a negative way. Because we understand that each person has their own thoughts, and we respect the fact that she may not think the way that I think, but we have to be fair because her experiences have led her to her own decisions.
Amen. We do the same thing here in DBL. We all have diverse opinions, and I think just having that respectful discourse is what the country is missing. So, Monica, you are the Democrat. Jessica Ann, you're the Republican. Did you guys grow up debating politics?
You know, we were on the debate team growing up, but our mother never, ever lets us argue. Of course, we won't tell her that we do, but we just don't debate and argue. We know that the left wing and the right wing belong to the same bird.
What can we as a country learn from your relationship? We need it.
We can learn that our beautiful democracy that we celebrate here in America needs to work on an everyday basis for everybody. I have the right to my opinion, and she has the right to her opinion, but how do we move the needle forward for the American citizens?
Monica and Jessica Ann, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you both the best of luck and look forward to following your races.
We love you, Daily Blast.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daily Blast.
Thank you, Daily Blast.
Are adorable.
They are adorable.
And the wing thing, the right wing, the left wing is from the same bird.
That's the best thing ever.
That is the
that
best
should be
thing
a meme.
ever.
That should be the bald eagle. That's our motto.
I mean, really, they are like someone you could look up to because they have two opposing point of views in politics, and they're best friends. They're
the
sisters.
same
they're
genetics.
twins.
They're identical twins. It's amazing.
They're an example.
There you go.
James Carville and Mary Matlin had that same type of relationship.
Very true.
Where's your sister that loves Trump?
Right here.
It's me.
It's Bo.
It's All right, guys, that was a good one. We are live, Brett Forrest, with news at the moment.
This year's Tour de France keeps getting crazier and crazier. In the latest incident, cyclists got hit with tear gas today. French police used the gas to disperse a farmers' protest that was attempting to block the route of the peloton. The farmers threw bales of hay and drove tractors onto the course, using the international event to protest a decrease in funding. The race paused for about 15 minutes while riders received treatment. Other incidents so far involve fans throwing flares at riders and one cyclist punching another mid-race. Things are getting kind of crazy out there.
Wow, thanks, Brett. I had no idea that went on.
Yeah, and if you guys know the Tour de France, sometimes those streets, you are right next to the person. You can wave, you can hand them water. I mean, you are in its narrow streets through Europe, so that's a dangerous situation right there.
Wow. All right. We can't get enough of our DBL deal blasts. Sam Shocker, show us some incredible bargains coming in hot.
Oh, I plan to. They are good, people. Get ready. We have some amazing deals on some of the hottest products you can get right now, thanks to our friends at morningsave.com. Looking for a fashionable watch? Get this Martian MVIP Notifier smartwatch. It shows you when you get calls and texts while tracking your steps and calories. Come on, people. It's normally as high as $215, but today you can get it for 89% off. That's $24 at morningsave.com. That is insanity. Now, do you need more zen in your life? I think so. Get it with this Pure Daily Care Aromatherapy Diffuser Essential Oil gift set. It comes with 6 pure essential oils like lavender and tea tree oil. This diffuser is normally as high as $199, but our morningsave.com deal is just $39. Yes, that's 80% off. And again, go to morningsave.com to take advantage of the savings and stick around because we'll have even more deals later in the show.
Wow, thanks, Sam Shocker. The infuser, get it.
Yes,
it's worth
delicious.
it. It is delicious and refreshing. No. Still ahead on Daily Blast Live, a boyfriend dumps his girlfriend, not for another woman, but for video games. Is this any different than choosing career over love? And you, the viewer, are the fifth host. Should women cover up when they breastfeed in public? Your comments are next.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kelly Craig. Kelly, what's going on?
Yeah, really interesting story coming from the Wall Street Journal, and it's an op-ed piece, but they're saying that your haircuts are probably too cheap. Now, they say this because there's been a lot of no-frills barbershops coming up lately that offer a pretty standard discount, you know, $20 for this kind of cut. They suggest actually getting to know your barber and trying out new stylish things. They kind of base off of your personality, they get who you are, and they kind of curate the haircut around that. So they say it's important, you know, it's one of the first things you see about a person, so having your hair kept is super important.
Well, it's a hard sell to make someone want to pay more, but I do understand it because women pay an awful lot more. Guys, we do have someone to let you know morningsave.com. We have Trim 2, a rechargeable modern hair clipper kit. So you basically get a beard trimmer, you get an ultra sleek look, a rechargeable battery, 4 trimming attachments. You can make it easy. It ships in a retail packed box, and it never snags, never pulls. So you can do this for even cheaper by doing it at home. So if you have a beard, a hair, you just want to clean up. It does look bad when you can see that stubbly stuff. I like a nice, clean shave. So this is the Trim rechargeable modern hair clipper kit. If you go to morningsave.com/dailyblastlive, it used to be $40. I say we give them for a little bit of $19. I can't. It's just amazing. Oh yes. I don't remember the Flow Bee. Oh, like a that's terrible. So that's a 53% off discount. If you are getting any of these, just take a picture next to your process with the computer and we'll send maybe a free prize. So moving over, we have this gorgeous girl. We have Lexi. What's going on, Lexi?
So we're going to talk about stress for a little bit.
Okay, let's take a break.
I know. What are some things that stress you out? Right now, a psychologist is sharing best ways to manage your stress,
Okay,
and it's
I need
actually
that.
a little bit surprising. So one thing you can do is exercise a whole lot. And Tori, I'm also wondering if you might know some of what other things you can do. CBT, which is cognitive behavioral. You want to explain what that is?
Yeah, basically you tell your thoughts that those aren't rational and you rethink your thoughts into rational thoughts. So it's really great. But this is another way we can save on stress here. There's a Pure Daily Care aromatherapy set, 6 essential oil gift set. It was $199. It's $39 now. Morningsave.com. De-stress.
That was a good save, Tori. Thanks.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Right now, 2 moms are planning on filing discrimination charges, all because they were breastfeeding at this Minnesota pool. They were first asked to cover up or move to a changing room, and when they refused, an employee asked them to leave. Later, a police officer confronted the 2 women. Here's what they said about it.
It's a mother's choice, a family's choice, how they choose to feed their child, and it's the law.
Well, fellow moms staged a nurse-in recently to support the 2 women, and Minnesota law does allow a mother to breastfeed in any location, public or private. Well, you have a lot to say, so it's today's 5th host. Take it away, Jeff.
Thank you so much, Sam. Let's get right to your comments. Ned writes, you can't normalize uncovered breastfeeding without normalizing uncovered breasts.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I think that we have a far greater tolerance for uncovered breasts than ones that are covered by a child's head.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's all I have to say.
Is that your final answer? It's a very good one. All right, BC on Twitter says, once again, people are trying to police women's bodies. If only everyone minded their own business. Now, I'm not a mom. I'm 36. I hope to be a mom and breastfeed. But at some point, you think, in Europe, they've got this down. When they breastfeed, people just don't stare. It's normal. Why in America is it so puritanical about breasts? We can see them sexualized, but we can't see them doing what they're meant to do.
For me, it's kind of like, first of all, who are these people telling mothers to cover themselves up? I mean, for me, being a dad now, I think mothers should be able to do whatever they want to do because they're amazing. But also, on the other side, I do want to say, how hard is it just to throw something over your shoulder to cover that up just out of respect for other people there that don't care for that? Because me, when I'm at a restaurant and my son, I'm feeding my son, not with my breasts, but I'm feeding him.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing, right?
If he starts crying or he doesn't want to be there anymore, I take the food to go. I bring him outside while Jordan finishes a meal. I'm respectful of the people around me. I don't put my foot down and say, my child needs to eat, so you guys are going to listen to this. I'm just respectful of the people around me. To me, I see the line there. I see the line.
You're right on the line of thinking of Hugh, who writes, I understand the need to breastfeed a child. I do not understand the need to show what the world is happening. And I agree with you, Hugh, and I agree with you, Jeff, as well. It becomes to me about just public awareness. And I mean, and I don't want to use the word decency because I think that could be a little tricky, but just understanding there are people around you. I was on a plane once with a lady who was pumping, and she actually put a towel over her. Just because you're in a public place, you might not know how other people are going to react to that. So I just say it becomes an issue of awareness more so than us normalizing breastfeeding in public.
I think it's a very American thing. I just think we think horrible things. In Europe, this is just done all the time. There isn't even an issue.
Good topic, though.
Good topic, yeah.
Thank you guys for writing in. Coming up on Daily Blast Live, meet a young woman who turned bowling into a teachable moment and a money-making business.
Yes.
She's our DBL Spotlight. But first, twin brothers find inspiration from an unlikely place. Football players who are twins, too. Their story next in Heartthreads.
Oh, so they.
Okay.
The
So
guy
in
with the
case you
one
guys
hand
didn't know,
is the-
we
this
actually
guy coming up
really
now.
like each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Even Jeff and me get along sometimes off screen. And we actually had an amazing thing by Erica
Yeah.
Cobb. She organized a brunch for all of the hosts, their family, their significant others, with Chef Joel by her side. It was amazing. There was food there. We have pictures that we're going to be putting up, I think, behind me full screen. Was it not just like heaven? The food was phenomenal.
I thought we were talking about breastfeeding.
There's a chef. The food was
I heard we
amazing.
were just talking about Erica's get together.
Yes.
So good.
Wasn't it good?
I'm still eating the gourmet gummy bears. I did that thing where you just have no dignity and you just take. I took like 5 bags.
You took 5 packs.
I thought-
There was
I didn't
only
have
2 extra packs. That means that somebody didn't get packs.
I didn't
of
take
gummy bears.
I think Al got my pack.
I didn't get one pack.
I actually ate them while we were there.
They were so good.
They really
They're
were
like
great.
champagne flavored.
And the peach concoction.
The punch was
yeah, whatever that was awesome.
He made this
Oh, the-
peach punch. It was like peach juice with vodka and like some kind of syrup or something. I don't even know.
Erica, is this going to be an annual thing?
Yeah, or weekly? Weekly?
Tell
I
him,
would be
tell
fine
him what
weekly.
game you made us play.
Oh, yes.
So I decided to do
that was
one
fun.
party game, 2 truths and a lie, because not everybody, especially with the significant others and stuff, like not everybody really knows everyone. So it was a good way for us to like
But
get to
Al
know
couldn't
each other.
understand
And
it.
there were some creative ones.
Al was like giving 3 lies, not yet telling any truth.
Wait, no, Mark messed it up too. See, it messed it up.
And Anthony goes, I've told too many lies.
Men just naturally lie. I wasn't there.
What was your lie?
My lie was that, I got stuck on the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland.
That's right.
Oh, that was a good one.
That's not true.
Mine was I got drunk with Don Johnson at a clam
Oh,
bake.
That was so specific.
Which
It
is
was good.
which could happen. It still could happen.
Wait, you're Northeasterner. Do people have clam bakes anymore?
Yeah, a lot in Cape Cod all the time.
Clam bake sounded funny to me.
What is a clam
Well, I
bake?
want to do it like a real traditional.
With Don Johnson.
Yes, I'm gonna invite Don Johnson. You're invited.
Don Johnson, if you're watching.
what was your lie?
Oh, it's a funny one. I said that when I met Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago, that I asked who his barber was and if he would consider changing it. And people believe that was actually true too. So.
I called bull on that.
I think I did too.
called bull.
I think I did too.
And if you did guess the lie, the reward, because we didn't have anything, was that you got to stand up and bow, and people just clapped for you.
It's fun.
That's so ridiculous.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today's Heartthreads is all about inspiration. Twin boys turn to twin pro football players for guidance. Watch this. These twins got some inspiration from twin NFL players. 6-year-old Royce and Kyan Moore are twin brothers and best friends.
Royce and Cayenne. Cayenne and Royce. They are so identical, like I say, but yet so different.
Kyan wants to be an art teacher, while Royce wants to be a football player. The twins have another difference that few see: a prosthetic leg. Royce was born with a condition that resulted in his leg being amputated, but it hasn't slowed him down. Twin NFL players Shaquem and Shaquille Griffin are heroes to Royce and Kyan. Shaquem is the first one-handed player to make the NFL. With some help, Shaquem and Shaquille gave their young fans some advice.
You know, sometimes you got to make many sacrifices for your brother, but as long as you stay by each other, he's always going to be there. And, hopefully one day we can be big fans of you guys, man.
It's advice that Royce and Kyan plan to follow.
Nobody can stop me and my brother from doing nothing.
Amazing. And those guys, the pro guys, are such an inspiration for people. He's the first guy to ever get drafted with a disability like that.
That's amazing. And just to have like mentors that can mirror you that way.
Exactly. You have someone to look up to.
Yeah.
Go Seahawks for Stu. If you're leaving us right now, you can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up on DBL.
A boyfriend dumps his girlfriend. For video games? Has gaming mania gone too far? Police bust a man for nude yoga in a public gym. We're sharing our workout horror stories. And Star Trek star Zachary Quinto swings by.
Aliens have visited us before.
We get the scoop on the next installment of the hit franchise. Coming up when DBL continues. We are on right now. Chelsea Herbert writes in, why is mom breastfeeding a public even question? I sort of...
It's not being questioned. It's the placing a towel over it. I don't think anyone's questioning whether they can breastfeed in public. No one's going to deny them that right. I think it's whether you have
Well,
your
you are
exposed
kind of
breast.
denying it if you say you can't do it and it is legal that you can do it. If you're saying you can't do that, but the law is I can, then you are discriminating against
Well, I see it on both sides. There's some people that might say, just look away. You know, if you don't have a problem, just look away.
Mind your business. Like, what are you doing staring at someone that's taking care of their child?
Because I believe, Tori, because there's an over-sexualization of women's bodies, and males sometimes are programmed to just look, even though it's like, I'm not supposed to look at that.
Then that's your fault, not a woman's fault. That's a male's fault. And I know I sound like this angry people.
But if you're around young kids who are males who don't understand it yet, I can see trying to shield them from something they may not understand.
You wouldn't want to take that and make that a teachable moment. I think that's such a good moment to be like, this is how you respect.
But I can't also teach parents how to teach their kids. I don't want to tell them what to do in terms of, oh, well, I don't want to enforce upon them how to parent their kids.
Let's say there's a law that says you can wear a burqa into a grocery store, and then someone shows up in a burqa and makes someone uncomfortable, and they're like, we'd like you to leave. Legally, they're allowed to be there, so why are you asking them to leave?
Well, because a burqa is not the same thing as I think is over-sexualizing a woman's body.
But they're
and
both
the taboo
if
that
they're
comes
both
with it.
legal.
How about if you're in a restaurant? How about if you're in a restaurant and they're like, hey, sir, could you remove your hat? I take my hat off.
That's a fair comparison.
15 seconds. Here we come.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry. Okay. Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. We are a live show with a lot to get to, so guess what we're going to do?
We're going to dive right in.
We're going to dive right in. All right, a video of a 10-year-old boy being pinned to the ground by police in Athens, Georgia is going viral right now. The child's father was under arrest in a domestic disturbance, and the boy became distraught and emotional. The police took him to the ground, but did not arrest or cuff him. In response to the now viral clip, the police have released their body cam footage. Let's watch that.
That's not what happened. That's not what his...
Stop now!
Don't do that. Don't. Where am I, officer?
Okay.
Don't you do that. Stop. Stop.
Man, let him go.
We're back off. Back off. Back off. Stop.
Okay.
It is tough to watch, but the video does go on from there. And I do want to say, like, this is tough to watch here, but I'm glad the body cam video came out in this case because it looked a lot worse just from the first video. It does go on to the police officers calming the boy down, telling him, listen, the boy asked, am I going to jail? And he said, no, just calm down. I'm going to let you up. We're going to have a conversation. At the end of the video, he actually lets the boy go see his dad and say goodbye to his dad and get his phone so he could call him. That was emotional, too, just him saying goodbye to his dad. But I'm glad the police video did come out in this case.
Well, we said last week when Sergeant Eddie Johnson released the video right away in Chicago that this is likely going to set a precedent around the country. And now we see precedents.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The number one thing that I see watching this video from start to finish, including the body cam, is that there are 3 other adults who are not detained and chose not to take this child out of this situation. It was a domestic violence situation. The child, God only knows what the child saw before the police ever arrived. And now you have a very very alarming situation with a young boy who's really trying to like protect his dad. He doesn't understand everything that's happening, and no other adult intervened. You don't want for law enforcement to be the first time that your child is being disciplined. In this situation, it seemed like that was the first time all day that this child was being taken care of, and it wasn't in the right way.
It's true, and the detail did say that he jumped onto the cop so hard, the little boy, that the cop was pushed back onto the hood of the car. I'm just saying it wasn't a light tap or an angry, he really pushed that cop. So for anyone who's saying that, I think it was overkill. I think two full bodied men pinning him down to a 9-year-old that was saying, I'm sorry, sir, seemed a little excessive, but I wasn't there, I'm not a cop, and I didn't put myself, they have to be careful for themselves. So I do see how it's important. That body cam gave me a lot more into that situation than I would have known.
I watched this video probably about 5 or 6 times, and when you watch it, you notice that even the father who's being arrested is saying, you know, relax to the kid. He doesn't. Adults around there are saying, relax. He's not doing it. So Eric is absolutely right. You know, I mean, no adult seems to be taking ownership over the fact that a child is watching his father get arrested. I think that's a major problem. And so now you're putting in the hands of the police who are just trying to de-escalate the situation, and now this is what we're left with. So as I watch this video over and over again, and by the way, the family was upset why the woman in the domestic abuse situation was not arrested too. That's kind of where the viral video picks up and starts. So as we look at this, it's unfortunate. You never want to see a kid go to the ground for any reason. That's the bottom line. But in this particular case, it looks like no one cared to take care of that child and get him in the house.
Well, I'm glad we got to see both sides, and I'm glad we got to talk about it. All right,
the
guys,
context.
Let's move on. A pro video gamer is getting a lot of flack on social media. 23-year-old Douglas Martin, a.k.a. Faz Sensor, just dumped his gorgeous girlfriend, weather presenter Yanet Garcia. Why? To spend more time playing Call of Duty. Watch this.
For me to manage being a professional Call of Duty player, you know, being a Gymshark athlete, you know, being a YouTuber, making videos, playing Call of Duty full time, taking care of 2 dogs, having a house and going through renovations, and then also managing a girlfriend, it's like I had to pick my poison of what I wanted to spend my time and focus on. Like, there's only 24 hours in a day.
Nice picture of yourself in the background. Yanet responded that she's heartbroken, but thanks fans for their support.
He did the right thing. He's 23 years old. This is obviously his dream. He's already made like, what, $1.5 million doing it. So this isn't just a hobby. This is what he is choosing to do for his career. She left and is pursuing more things in her career. They should be focusing on themselves. Why is everybody so quick to get booed up? Oh, I know, because I got married very young too. But I say, yeah, focus on something that's not how hot your girlfriend is.
I think we just need to have respect for the gamers. The gamers is a $25.5 billion industry. It's just as much, people spend as much time practicing as sports. It is the most watched sports game, and for everyone to be laughing because he's going to play sports, you should really pay attention, because e-gamers and video games is a huge...
He did make over $1 million last year.
Yeah, imagine. I mean,
what skills, guys, is he learning? What social skills is he learning? Zero. What actionable skills that he can use later in life? I know he's making money, and I get the point, but maybe he's thinking, well, another girl's going to be waiting in the wing to come right on along. But I think it's an addiction. I think video games are addicting. I don't think it's a sport. I just don't see it that way.
I'll take a $1.5 million addiction any day.
But he might not get another weather presenter.
Maybe a sportscaster.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the story, because I love this story. Journalist Kaylee Dre is speaking out. She got fired as a bridesmaid. That's right. She got fired as being a bridesmaid, and she's had it. So why did she get fired in the first place? First, the bride got mad that she didn't write a Facebook post thanking her for making her a bridesmaid. Then she refused to skip work to go dress shopping on a weekday, even after realizing she'd have to save up for months to afford her bridesmaid dress. Travel to the destination wedding as well, and even pay for her dinner. She got to pay for her own dinner at the nuptials. Oh, and then the final straw, she didn't manage to hit her target bridesmaid weight. So DBL Nation, what's your take on a wedding party duty? Is it fun or a nightmare? I'll go. It's a nightmare. Don't ever ask me to stand up to your wedding. I'm done with weddings. I'm never go. I hate weddings. It's just official. That's my
think
take.
Weddings are business?
Weddings are 100% business, and I've stood up to a ton of weddings in my life. I've never really, I mean, I moved away from Chicago years and years and years ago. Guess who has to fly to Chicago? Guess who has to pick up that tux? Guess who's rushing because they have to work during the week? Big Jeff's out.
Now, I feel you. I think what people have to understand is Your wedding isn't important to anyone other than you and maybe your parents. So when you start putting all of these little things that people have to do in order to be accepted into your wedding party, yes, in a way it's an honor to be asked, but is it still an honor if you have to forego paying your mortgage that month or paying your car note? I mean, people really have to put it into perspective that just because they decide to blow the bank for their wedding doesn't mean that everyone that they care about should have to do the same.
Yeah, you got to check yourself.
There you go, Erica.
She should be thanking that bridesmaid. I mean, my gosh, think of, like you said, the travel, the dresses. Thank the person for being there. Don't chastise them.
Yeah, check yourself. If you have a Target wait for your bridesmaids, you better check yourself.
There you go. Whew, I get fired up about the wedding situations. What do we got? It's too much work. 38%. Thank you, DBL Nation. I don't feel as crazy. All right.
You were crazy.
Yeah, a little bit. Grab that salt and cut those lines. It's National Tequila Day. Brett Forrest has some tequila deals coming in caliente.
Ooh, nice, Jeff. That means hot, in case you guys didn't know. There are a lot of deals out there today. First, Chili's is offering $5 margaritas today. 3 different flavors to go perfectly with those baby back ribs or fajitas. Next, Hop Dottie Burger Bar. They've got $5 classic frozen margaritas and $2 little margaritas. That's not bad at all. And finally, On the Border is getting in on the tequila fun. They're also offering $2 classic margs, and if you really want to throw caution to the wind, tequila shots start at $3. So DBL Nation, where are you going for National Tequila Day? You know what I'm doing?
Dun, 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 tequila!
A little Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, man.
That already made me feel good, but now it's time for our top feel-good stories of the day. Sam, you have all the videos that are making DBL Nation smile.
You know I do. Prince Harry and Elton John are teaming up to end AIDS once and for all. The pair announced their new partnership today in Amsterdam at the International AIDS Conference. Watch what they had to say.
I'm honored to be sharing the stage with someone who has always put people at the center of his work, Sir Elton John.
If we want to win this fight, if we want to end AIDS once and for all, we must make men part of the solution.
Amen. Of course, fighting AIDS is a cause that was near and dear to Princess Diana's heart and an act of selflessness. From the rescued Thai boys, today they were ordained as Buddhist monks to show their gratitude and to remember the hero diver who died trying to rescue them. May he rest in peace. And a very happy second birthday to Lucas. He's the first Gerber baby with Down syndrome, and he couldn't be happier to celebrate today. Yeah, Lucas. And don't miss our DBL Deal Blast. We're offering a smartwatch for an incredible price. Stick around to take advantage of the savings. And we are shining the DBL spotlight on a young girl who turned being bullied into a career opportunity. She's truly inspirational, and her story is coming up. But first, chatting with the stars, actor Zachary Quinto talks his new show and the future of Star Trek. And Tori Schulman gets emotional. You don't want to miss it.
Have a card for it? Okay.
Well, let's just talk.
Tequila! We just wanted to do that. What's going on,
love
Brad?
tequila. Okay, so trending article from Fashion Beans, if you've ever heard of them. They're calling the best hairstyles of the year right now. Yeah, so, or for guys, not, sorry ladies, but best hairstyles for men. Let's check out some of them.
Okay.
They call it the do-it-yourself punk. Looks like, what's this guy, Robert Pattinson?
That is the vampire.
Yeah, he's rocking it, so, you know, it's kind of like mine,
It's
but.
kind of like this.
Yeah, it's a little bit messier than mine, but.
And like that.
Where's the HR?
And then like that. And then you have Brett's hair. So
Okay.
very exciting. It's this kind of like.
Yeah, there's that one. Oh, then this one, the long sweep.
Sure.
The
Charlie
long sweep.
Hunnam,
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, and you know, I always like to say I'm ahead of the curve.
Good
so,
one. Good one.
I used to have the little
Oh,
hair.
look
I used to
at
have that
Brett.
hair sweep
That
there.
actually looks great on you.
Yeah, it took a while to grow that out. So anyway, so these are the top trending hairstyles that they predict for the year. Then they have this one,
Tom
the
Hardy.
soft part they call it.
Sure.
Yeah, so you know it's kind of cool. You know, if you guys are looking to try new hairstyles.
Stretch it out. Let me know which one is your favorite. Also, we have a really great men's trimmer kit for your hair.
The grooming kit, yeah.
The grooming kit, and it's a really good price. So make sure you go to morningsave.com. We're selling it, I think, for $19 down from $40. So it's right over here.
Wow.
Take a look. It's the Trim 2 rechargeable modern hair clipper kit. And I love saving 53% on anything.
I do
Am
too.
I right?
I do too.
So,
20 bucks, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
And so you could give this as a gift. It'd be a very good gift.
Yeah.
So let me know what hairstyle you like the most. What's going on, Raquel?
I have another product to tell you
Ooh.
about. So The Guardian came out with a list of the 5 must-have fashions accessories for ladies.
Oh, fun.
Can you guess what the first one is?
Smartwatch?
Yes, it's a wristwatch.
Actually, it
They're
does
very
make
trendy.
a good accessory.
They are really making a comeback. So it's just kind of this little vintage-looking one, and there's actually a deal right now for it that
Which
you
is
can
amazing,
get.
yes.
I really like the gold one.
I do
It's
too. The white and the
actually
gold is
my
good for
favorite.
summer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cute. So guys, this tells you texts, calls, it tracks your calories, steps burned. It's $24, morningsave.com.
And it's a lot prettier than the regular Apple Watches.
Yes.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today's Chatting with the Stars is my dream interview. I grew up watching Star Trek, and now I get to talk with the Zachary Quinto, who plays, of course, Spock in the series reboot. But right now, we're talking about his new show, In Search Of, on the History Channel. Here we go.
I'm drawn to the unknown, the otherworldly, and those experiences so beyond belief, they call everything into question. I'm exploring some of the most enduring mysteries that continue to haunt mankind in search of the truth, wherever it leads me.
Zachary Quinto, thank you so much for joining us on Daily Blast Live. You host and are executive producer for the In Search Of series. So tell us about it, and what are we in search of?
Well, we are in search of unknown mysteries and phenomena from around the world and beyond. It's based on a show that was on in the late 70s and the early 80s, hosted by my dear friend, the late, great Leonard Nimoy.
May he rest.
So I am carrying the mantle further, and then we carry it off into new directions and explore things like artificial intelligence or mind control, life after death, superhumans, time travel. So there's a lot of experiences that we dive into, literally and figuratively.
Ooh, I like that. Dive into that. Well, as you said, the show is hosted by the one, the only Leonard Nimoy. Let's pour one out for our homie. You took over for the role of Spock. How does one step into those iconic Spockish shoes? How do you do that?
Well, I was really lucky to have Leonard as part of the process, you know, and we became incredibly close friends for the last decade of his life, and so there was a real connection between us. I feel like that was a part of that experience and a part of this one.
This is going to make me choke up, but my family is a Trekkie family, as I said. My mom has a chronic illness, and Star Trek was the one show, and still is, that soothes her, including you. The next film, Star Trek 4, will be directed by a woman, S.J. Clarkson. Tell me, are there any updates or scoops that you can spill that I can pass on to my mother?
Oh, I wish I had some info. You know, I think we're taking it in a new direction with SJ, who's amazing. I've worked with her before. A real milestone for the franchise. A film has never been directed by a woman before. The TV shows certainly have, but never a film. I don't know too much about the story, other than to say that I think it'll be a real adventure. We're all really excited to come back and make another movie, and it's always so gratifying to know how much it means to people in their lives, and you know how much it soothes people, like you said, and gives people hope. And there's such an inherent faith in humanity in the Star Trek universe. So please tell your mom that you know, I send her a lot of good wishes and wish her the best, and thank her for, you know, being such a fan of the world, because we love when we can bring comfort to people. That's so important, and I'm sorry to hear she's going through that, but sending her a lot of good love.
That means a lot. Thank you. We watched our whole childhood. Gene Roddenberry is my godfather in my head. Thank you so much, Zachary Quinto. And I've waited my whole life to say this. Live long. Where's the camera?
Live long and prosper.
Thank you so much.
Wait, what did you say? Live long and what?
And prosper.
Oh, you did say it. Okay, good. I was right there with you. Live long and prosper. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I always remember this interview. Thanks a lot.
Great. Thank you. Take care.
It's live long and prosper.
I said that.
I know. Those satellite interviews are tough because
They're
like
hard.
you're talking.
Yeah.
How come you got so emotional like during that interview?
It's like if you ever experienced a loved one who was healed by a piece of music or an art or a movie, and then suddenly that musician was talking to you. I mean, Spock was talking to me to tell my mom that he was thinking of her, and to me, I think that was a full dream come true. It was really special.
It was a great interview.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh.
There you go. We are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at the moment.
I got you, Tori, over here. You only have a few hours left to buy Mega Millions tickets and score one of the biggest jackpots ever. Take a look at the jackpot. It's now up to $522 million for tonight's drawing. That's a cash option of $308 million. So DBL Nation, tell us, are you buying a ticket for tonight's drawing? Are you willing to share with us? Tell us using the hashtag DBLTake.
Yes and no.
You're not willing to share?
No.
No. You're cruel.
All right, we've got even more DBL Deal Blast savings. Brett has the deals, and they're coming in hot.
Thank you, Jeff. We have some amazing deals on some of the hottest products you can get right now, thanks to our friends at morningsave.com. First, the Nuova Glow 16 LED teeth whitening system. It comes with gel for 20 to 25 treatments. It's normally as high as $299, but thanks to our friends at Morning Save, you can get it for just $29. That's a 90% savings. You can't beat that. Next, the Motorola Focus HD Wi-Fi camera. The smart tags sense movement on windows and doors. It also includes free 24-hour recording. It's normally as much as $110, but our friends at Morning Save hooked it up, and you can get it for just $59. Okay, that's a steal. Again, go to morningsave.com right now to take advantage of the savings.
Wow, I like that. I like the camera.
I got that camera.
You do?
To watch the dog.
It's Leo.
Yeah, got to see what he's doing. He's getting into trash.
All right, coming up on Daily Blast Live, Erica Cobb speaks to a young girl who was badly bullied for the color of her skin, but turned the hateful words into a business opportunity. She even has the support of some very big celebrities. That's next.
Yes. So if you guys don't know, okay, cool. If you guys don't know the name Gene Roddenberry, you kind of should. He was actually blasted into space, his ashes, which is very exciting. He is the creator of Star Trek, and his wife was actually the sound of the computer. So they go, computer, make me a hot tea at 70 degrees. She goes, would you like honey? That's Gene Roddenberry's wife. But what he wanted was a space in which, in a future, where there was exploration, not wars, in which women were on the bridge just as much as the captains. Women were the captains. Aliens and other creatures were part of the community because there was less segregation. And if you remember the first interracial kiss on television, Star Trek. Star Trek. So it is a, thank you, Leo, thank you. It is a huge, well known for its level, and what he said, Zachary Quinto, so lovingly, was about humanity. And it was the idea of exploration as opposed to taking over, colonization. It was the whole idea of the USS Enterprise. What did they do? They explored new places and new situations. So Gene Roddenberry was a huge visionary, I think, would say, before his time, and created a world and a future in which there was less separation from everyone. And it was an incredible TV show that my mom got hooked on.
You heard from Judy today since the interview?
I heard from my sister, who said she was crying. Then I talked to my mom and dad last night, who said they were excited to see it. But I think when my mom sees Spock say, I want you to tell your mom, that's going to be a tearjerker. That's going to be a tearjerker. If you guys don't know, in the early days, when my mom was ill and she couldn't get up, she only had 4 or 5 channels, and she would just click them through. And Star Trek was the one that would, yeah, there was like on 3 of them. So that's the one that it soothed her, and we were Trekkies for life. So I've been to conventions. I mean, I dressed up. I was that weird kid.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we did. We also have, like, we have the beepers, the communicators, the tasers, my whole family. So it was a big deal to have Spock look at you and say hi to your mom. So that was incredibly kind. But if you don't know about Gene Roddenberry, fascinating story. Very interesting human being.
We're all better people for that story, Tori.
Thanks.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Today we are shining the DBL spotlight on a girl who is making money moves on the very thing bullies used to tease her about, her dark skin. Now she's gone from bullied to boss.
This tweet started a revolution. Taylor Pollard's beautiful little sister was being bullied because of her dark skin. The tweet went viral and the responses blew up. The sisters channeled the experience into a business. and the clothing line, Flexin' in My Complexion, was born. Soon, Hollywood royalty like Lupita Nyong'o took notice and Nike came calling. The little girl, who was once bullied for her looks, is now a model and a boss.
Sisters Taylor and Karis join us now. Welcome, ladies, and thank you so much for being with us. Now, Taylor, I want to start with you. Hashtag flexin' in my complexion is trending. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, you're pretty for a black girl. I've heard that so many times growing up. How do you think flexin' in my complexion is changing what we think is beautiful?
You know, you can be pretty regardless of what your skin tone is, and you just need to appreciate other skin tones and, you know, love yourself as well.
Now, Karis, let me ask you, how did you feel when you were bullied about your dark complexion, and how do you feel now that you're a boss business owner?
Well, when I was getting bullied, I didn't feel comfortable myself, especially in my skin color, and they will always mess me for my dark complexion. But now that I'm a boss woman, I'm like, look at me now, bullies, because I own my clothing line called Flexin' in My Complexion.
Karis, what was it like to do the Nike photo shoot?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be a Nike model. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. And yes, you are a Nike model. Now, Taylor, what does the support from celebrities mean to your business, and what's next?
Well, honestly, it's so shocking that celebrities like Lupita, Alicia Keys have supported Karis, even Snoop Dogg too. Because, you know, it's always good to know that you have support from people who are really like up there. So it lets us know that we're doing something right.
What would you like to say to other girls who are being teased about their skin color?
I would tell them that you are gorgeous. It doesn't matter what other people think about you at all. It's what you think about yourself, and you shouldn't let them bring you down at all.
Amen, little sis. Taylor and Karis, thank you for joining us and letting the world know that beauty comes in all shades and colors. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Great story, Erica. We'll be right back.
We're talking to Rob, who went to Banff, B-A-N-F?
F. B-A-N-F.
I'm like adding letters like
Yeah.
I'm on Wheel of Fortune. But it is just incredible, the pictures.
Yeah.
Jasper, yeah. So my friend just went to Banff, and Rob, you went a week ago?
It was like 3 weeks ago.
How hard, how like easy is it to get to?
I had to fly into Spokane, and then I did a big 2,100 mile drive around circle.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like a big hiker.
So it's West Coast? Like, is it on the water, or is it more like
No.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So
just north of
If you're
Denver.
not, say, let's say, like,
Vancouver and Calgary.
let's say you're not like a great hiker. Could you still go if you don't have a lot of stamina?
You don't like the outdoors.
You don't want to. You eat your own tantrum. You don't want to exercise. Like, could you just enjoy the views?
Absolutely, absolutely can. Yeah, not much of a hike to all those lakes, and you can go and get beautiful views.
Very similar experience, just 45 minutes up the street.
It's true. We do live in the Rocky Mountains. That's true.
What is going on?
I don't know. I feel bad that I haven't taken advantage of Denver.
I just did in Golden Gate Canyon State Park. It was great.
Yeah, you did.
I just did.
I used to hike like
We've been here a year.
once or twice a week. No, Santa Monica Mountains.
Oh, I
Me
love
and Jordan
that
would
area.
go.
Yeah.
And we had this place that we'd hike all the time. I'd see Will Arnett there all the time, and I'd see Kate Beckinsale all the time.
Ooh, she's so hot.
She lives up that way.
Yeah. So that's why I'd see her.
LA, I did more hiking than I do in Colorado.
That's why I hiked. Yeah. Really got me going.
Is Kate there? Is Kate there? Is Kate there? Is Kate there?
But I swear, I brought my buddy one time, like, dude, I always see Kate Beckinsale here. He's like, yeah, right. I mean, around the corner. I'm like,
I love when that happens. When you're like on the tour bus in Hollywood, and all of a sudden Morgan Freeman like pulls up to the tour bus, and he's like, "Hello."
that never happened.
It did.
It happened to you?
No. There's a picture on the internet about
I
it.
went to a house party with Kate Beckinsale and her then husband were hosting. Wow. And she came. It was just like a party for like 12 people. But my ex-girlfriend's sister was her wardrobe designer.
Cool,
did all of her
Bo.
wardrobe.
Thanks for ruining my hiking
Sorry.
story.
You seeing her sweating on the trail is cool too, Jeff.
My story stinks now. Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. We have a cool pic to show you guys of what all the hosts did this weekend. There was Erica Cobb, the lovely Erica Cobb, hosted a brunch on Sunday, and we were all there. Look how beautiful
Look
that
at
is.
everybody. It was the best time. Thank you guys so much
Erica,
for coming.
Thank you so much for having us. I mean, the food, phenomenal.
Amazing.
The drinks,
that peach
phenomenal.
The gummies, phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Well, they were gummy bears.
Bears.
And they were just champagne flavored rosé. There was nothing else Denver
no edibles
about
here,
them.
okay?
I want to thank Chef Joel Mays because he really killed it in the kitchen.
Thank you, Erica Cobb, and thank you, Joel. Stories never stop. We don't either. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. Keep that conversation going. That's Tuesday.